than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello everyone and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen. Tonight I'm joined by the poker babe, Shirley Rosario, and we're going to be doing some hot no-limit action tonight. A 300 to 500 restricted buy-in game with 5 and 5 blinds. And this game has actually attracted some of the players that play in our bigger game, as well as some usual characters, one of which I believe has been here for 4 days straight.
No way.
And so we'll flip to the table and show you what we're talking about. Take a gander at seat 5. It looks like he's changed his shirt, but it's Ice, Brian, in seat 5. I don't know if he just did a shirt change or if he went and left ever and
There's
got
no
some
person
sleep.
can stay up for 4 days straight, right?
He's got 1,500 in front of him, and he's playing a different game. So last night he had 4,800 in front of him in a 200 game. But anyways, we're going to go around and introduce the rest of the table.
Okay.
So here we go.
Seat number 1, we have Rudy. Seat 2, we have Martin. Seat 3, we have Walt.
I'm in. Bye, Sheila.
Seat 4, we have Michael. Seat 5, we have Ice and Brian. Seat 6, the infamous Jesus.
Oh, Jesus is in seat 6, playing a 3 to 5 game.
David is in seat 7.
And
Jeff
he's
is,
picking his teeth.
Jeff, oh yeah, your favorite. Jeff in seat 8, and Nader in seat 9.
Nader in seat 9, rounding out the table. And I don't know if we've ever seen Nader on the show before. We've definitely seen Jesus, and we've seen some of these other guys as
Seen
well.
almost all of them, I think.
Yeah, Walter, he's a pretty
Seat
tight
7,
player.
same David Kelsey. He was here last week, same seat, same hat.
And Martin, we have not seen on the show in seat 2.
Right.
So there you go. So we're going to get into the first hand here. It looks like Jesus has raised to 30. This is the first time we've ever seen Jesus not in seat 5. I think Brian, because he's been here for 4 days, he takes precedent, and he got to sit in seat 5. And Jesus has ace, queen, spades, and he takes it down. Looks like he's having some carne asada and some tortillas over there.
The carne asada here is really good.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. So this game, it's our biggest restricted buy-in game in the house. You can buy in for 300 to 500, 300 min, 500 max. The blinds for this game are 5 and 5. The yellow chips are $5 chips, the purples are 25s, and the whites are 100s. Blues are $1 chips. This really is the best game in town in terms of giving you the most amount to start with, according to blind
Relative to the
structure.
blinds.
Yeah.
There's going to be an image.
I know there's another big casino in town that has a $400 no-limit game. 400 max, and the blinds are 510.
Oh, wow.
So, there you go.
That just doesn't seem like enough money.
Yeah. We have a raise here by Rudy. Let's bring it in with ace 7 of hearts. Ooh, look at that. Yum, yum. Well, Martin, new player, he's going to call there with jack 5. Walter calls with 8-6. And Jesus,
Yeah,
ever
chips all over the
exotic
place.
with his pre-flop standards, calls it 10-3. And the flop comes out all closed.
What was that episode?
And they all have
Close.
suits, but
Right.
they're all the wrong ones.
And it gets checked around. Turn is a deuce. Rudy looks to have the best hand here with ace 7. Surprised that he raised pre-flop. He didn't bet the flop. Now he is going to bet. He bets 25. And I don't think anyone can call. There you go. Looks like he's got a little piece of avocado over there. Oh, yeah. Right in half. Looked like he pitted it himself, too. Outside that big pit. You know, cutting it, slicing it up, scooping it out. So, yeah, Brian, seat 5 ice. It will be interesting to see that the amount of poker that he's played over the last 3 or 4 days will affect his game. He says that he's a little bit goofy today. Sometimes when I, have a lack of sleep,
yeah,
I sometimes tend to hallucinate and get hot flashes.
Well, I don't think I'm that bad, but I get the case of the giggles. I just look silly.
I don't care.
You want to learn Spanish, dude. You don't want to assist.
The giggles, like when you ate like a bad mushroom out in the fields.
A rad mushroom. Come on, Bart, I'm an all-American girl.
Seed 8's going to bring this one in for a raise to 20 with pocket 7.
I want to call, but I haven't looked yet.
And seat number 9 is going to call. We cannot see his cards. He's got them in front of the camera. And Jesus has 6-7 offsuit. Well, Nader's got pocket 6s. So 6s, 7s, and 6-7. Jesus is drawing pretty slim.
Uh-oh, jackpot hand.
Ace, queen on the flop.
Wouldn't that be great? Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. I'd love it.
Well, they say jackpot. This is a jackpot table. It's a bad beat jackpot is any aces full of anything. Or
Aces
full of 10s.
Or better, beaten by
Right.
4 behind or better.
There you go. Jeff bets 30 here.
I guess you saw where you were at.
And not a bad bet with pocket 7s. Why let some more overcards come off? And he takes it down. And Brian Kelsey continues to pick his teeth there at the table. Hey, it's just me. I don't
Well,
know.
if he comes, or if he goes home and watches the archives, he probably won't be doing it anymore.
Yeah.
That broke down chip there.
Button has moved over to seat 4. Looks like King Queen there for seat number 1.
Two cards in the way. See, I
That's
told you,
Rudy.
buddy.
He's going to limp with King Queen. Pocket 6s.
Stickler about
Trust me,
that.
I
Limp,
don't need
limp.
help.
She's a stickler about that. I can't raise. I'm going to check.
And Brian checks out of the big blind.
Never stopped you before. When you
And we've got 5-way action, so it's a $25 pot.
Well, I want to make sure that I raise with quality hands. Like
Ace,
Go
9,
ahead.
4.
Certainly reasonable. I guess then I should.
And here we go. Jesus is going to bet with nothing.
I guess. Well,
And no one really has second pair here, so...
Martin has the best hand, pocket 6s, but I don't even see him calling.
No, he's not going to get involved.
respect. I have a pair.
I couldn't possibly try to outdraw Jesus.
And he shows the king. And Brian says, I couldn't possibly try to outdraw Jesus.
King of doing that.
Tap my feet. I'll
Sure, please don't play with your
And,
You like it when I play with my buddy.
well, Jesus told us before that he's going
My
to
dad told me that.
try to lay off some of the tequila shots that brought him down a couple weeks ago on Friday night.
This is gonna be
As
a good table.
we take a look at our
I was
first
so
chip
pleased
count.
last night.
So Ice is still up there.
That's
Still going to
Brian.
be our chip leader. Yeah, 1,500.
I'm an animal.
Jesus is second with 1,000. Everyone else is
Just getting started, about $400 each.
You leave with 4,700.
I'll tell you what was fun was with that other night.
now. Rudy is going to raise here to 15. He has Ace 10. Now the Jesus has got pocket jacks in seat 6. And let's see what he does. He's going to re-raise, it looks like. He makes it 65 to go.
When the button comes to me, I want to play Omaha.
I thought we were playing them all this time. She only gave me 2
And
cards.
let's see what Rudy does here with Ace 10. Interesting. Again, Martin, he's a new player. We haven't seen him.
Right.
Very, very interesting pre-flop hand criteria.
Imagine Omaha
Well,
with wild
it's
cards.
so far we've seen him play suited cards.
Right.
Was it Jack? Jack something last time.
Jack
Six?
5.
Jack 5.
Well, Rudy calls, and Martin's out of there. I mean, Rudy has a hand I absolutely hate. And the flop comes 10, deuce, 8, and it goes check, check. Wow, and the turn is an ace. Check, check. I guess these guys don't bet against each other. And the river's a 6. Maybe they're friends or something. But because Rudy, I mean, you got to figure he might have really got involved there on the flop. Ace 10. And then he outturned Jesus when the ace
Right.
came on the turn. And they never bet one time. And again, I'm not a big fan of that move, Shirley. I think that you should play your hand, but
Regardless of
certain
your
people, if they're
or not.
friends, will soft play each other and such.
My buddy.
And it just,
Hello, B.
The long walks.
it happens.
That is a great idea, man.
Button moves over to Jesus in seat 6. Pocket kings here for Rudy this time. Seat 1.
I like that. That's a good idea.
Put him in the window.
Raise it.
And he raises. 2 purple chips.
Action.
And seat 2 is going to quickly call. We don't know what he has.
Yeah, let's see.
But I'm going to make a guess that it's
Wow.
nothing that's that
It's
big.
suited.
Well, King Jack suited.
Casino.
It's not that unreasonable, although that's a hand that's easily
That's a pretty big
dominated.
raise, though. $50 in the.
Thinking. I like my
With
It
these
is.
kind of
Oh, wait,
blind.
I don't like
It
my
is.
position.
And
Oh, wait, I don't like my cards either.
once it comes back around, we'll see how deep those 2 guys are. And look at this. Nader's going to call with a weak ace. Ace 7 for $50.
Curious to see how he's going to play if an ace flops. He's going to have no clue what to do.
$150 pot here. Not a bad flop for kings. 955.
Bet 100.
Rudy's pretty straightforward. I've played with him before. He bets 100.
Jesus. Would
Yeah,
that
well,
be
when Martin has about
Green Island?
$200, which it seemed like he had there, you don't want to make $50 pre-flop calls with King Jack suited.
Right.
Translation, El Foldo.
So,
call that the equalizer?
I mean, if you were really, really deep, maybe,
What is 100?
but you'd have to be pretty deep. And that was a big pre-flop raise. And sometimes we talk about, boy, these people, these guys at the table really raise a lot pre-flop. But if you're gonna get 2 calls
Yeah,
with
go ahead
pocket
and do
kings,
it.
why not?
The only
More
thing
power
that-
to you. Then it's the
I tell you
correct
what, this
raise.
is my favorite place to
Right.
You know?
I like it.
Well,
I mean-
the thing that I would
That's
suggest,
pretty good.
you know, on Rudy, to Rudy is that just like a couple hands prior, he had raised it to $20, and this time he made it 50. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if the amount of his raises indicates the strength of his hand, you know, that's not a good thing. He has to, you know, keep it consistent.
I like Polo Loco. They got good
Ace,
chicken.
we get 25.
Jesus has got ace jack. He's going to raise it up to $25 here.
I was just taking some.
Jeff calls with king queen, and Nader's in there with king 9. Walter's got a suited connector, and he comes into the game. What a $100 pot 4 ways. 5-9-3 rainbow, and Nader has top pair, and so does Walter. And I believe that Nader checked it from up front. So did Walter. And now Jesus is going to bet. He bet 75. The button here is in seat 7, so Nader's going to pull the check raise. And that might have saved Walter some grief. Walter's a pretty tight player. I think that he's probably going to muck.
150.
$150 raise. And that would put Walter all in. That flop really isn't that coordinated. It'd be difficult for somebody to do that as a check raise, surely. Maybe 4-6, something like that. Possibly. Walter gets
maybe.
rid of it. And it looks like Jesus, he's going to fold. And Nader takes it down.
Yeah, it was a good bet.
Well, it's interesting. For all those of you that have been watching Live at the Bike from the start, of course, you can follow a live thread that started on the internet by going to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. The official Live at the Bike thread for October 25th. You can also email us
I
at
think he had pocket.
liveatthebike.com.
Don't listen to him, I believe you.
What about deuce 7 offsuit? I don't believe that. He would have just checked rear.
And so there you go. Questions, comments, suggestions. We appreciate it. And I want to tell all
All
of
the
you.
aces are out here.
Yeah, look at this. 4 aces are out. Ace 5, ace 4, ace jack.
I'm going to call.
Ace queen.
You are.
And ice just limps in with ace queen.
You call too?
And now seat 8,
Oh,
who's on
you
the
don't
button,
recall.
as ace jack, and he said he's going to raise.
Wow.
50.
I know what you're
And he raises it to 50. Well, what are the chances that an ace is going to come here on this flop?
Very slim.
Very slim?
Uh-huh. Guess it all depends on the people in the back
Yeah.
putting the cards together.
I just called because they
Better not come up.
Well, we get three-way action. It's a $150 pot. And we know that the fourth ace is dead.
4.
King, Jack, 8. And Jeff has actually flopped the best hand here with
Don't
ace
bet a
jack.
bunch. I don't have very much to.
He's in position.
How much can I bet that you call?
25.
Again, it's a $150 pot.
Please.
One of these makes me call.
Some respect.
No.
75.
How much you got left?
Bet 75.
And he's going to bet half the size of the pot.
Put it in there.
Well, I'm thinking about putting the rest of it in there.
You gonna think about it, or you gonna do it?
And the action's over to Brian here.
245.
Not really a great flop for ace queen.
No, but considering
I
that
just say one moment in Spanish.
Jeff just said, you know, I'm putting it in
Fold.
on the turn,
Yeah.
then you might want to call for your 10.
That's your
Well,
deck
he only
pick.
has $200. So it's not
Yeah, he
like
only
that.
got about 200
Rent the
left. So.
video. You're gonna hate this right now.
The player had 500 and said he was going to stick it all in on the turn. I'd call for that 10.
Could you beat 5 high?
Well, depending on how much you bet, right? If you bet,
Yeah, well, $75 into a $150 pot, and he has 500 behind him, and you know,
$15.
Try to spike your got
You got
4
shot?
outs.
No, you gotta pay on your online with your credit card.
Try to make about 9 or 10 to 1 there on your money.
See all of them.
Old school Live the Bike viewers, I just want to comment. I know a lot of people watch a lot of TV poker out there. Anybody that caught last week's World Series of Poker episode where Phil Hellmuth was whining, which is pretty much on every single
Yeah.
hand, but a guy had raised him with King Jack all in, and he had made a call, or it might have been raise, re-raise, and he got a really bad beat at the end. Ace King against King Jack, and the Jack spiked.
We got some earplugs over here.
That fellow has been on Live at the Bike before. I believe his name is John or Jeff.
Jim.
Excuse me. And I'll get to the rest of the story after this hand, and I have a date for you that you guys can look up in the
a
archives.
date. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to set me up on a date.
So much money.
So we have a raise here by
Kick it in.
seat 5. Brian, he's mixing it up, $45 with 9-6 offsuit.
I called the line.
I know, Sam. You didn't.
And Nader calls with a suited ace. Jesus is called with pocket tens.
But it's okay.
You did not fold the winner, I promise.
Fold the winner, damn it.
And we've got three-way action.
That's how I'm gonna choose.
About $135 pot.
You did, maybe you didn't.
I folded the
Queen,
winner,
Jack,
okay?
deuce. A couple spades.
It's enough information.
Check.
No, I didn't even look at the flop when I said that.
And everybody checks.
Okay.
Well, the turn's a club. Nader's got the nut flush draw. And now Jesus is going to bet. He does have the best hand.
Yes.
He bets 45 into a $135 pot. And the button calls.
I missed.
To hit his flush draw.
Yep, he's got a flush draw.
Stop being fun.
And the river's a 6.
I think I would have
Jesus is going to bet again here.
100.
won. You missed.
That's 100. Nader turns up his flush draw. And he folds. And he takes it down. So again, any of you old school Live at the Bike viewers, if you remember a gentleman by the name of Jim that played several hands blind in 30-60 way back in April, would jam it with 4-6 offsuit. He made a call one time with 4 high on the river. And I said it was a nice value
He
call.
was, yeah, he was a
Yeah.
blonde guy, and he
Yeah.
didn't play very well.
Yeah, he would pretty much play blind almost every hand. It was really, really funny to see.
And he played a few times, right?
He played a few times. He was one of Grace's friends who works here.
And I know
He
that he
was the
usually sat
gentleman.
in seat 4.
He
Yeah.
sat in seat 4. If you guys look at April 13th in the archives, that's one of the episodes. And then maybe some people can find me, all you
Other
loyal
episodes.
viewers out there, some of the other times he was on the show. But I thought that was just a little bit interesting. Somebody pointed it out to me this afternoon, Shirley. They're like,
Oh, really?
that's the guy. And I was like,
I haven't.
"Oh,
Yeah, I haven't watched that show. Kings again.
Kings for
For seat
Brian.
5.
Seat 5. He made it 60 to go. 60. And Nader calls with ace queen.
Little Sam. Just me and you, Sam?
And here we go. Ace queen against pocket kings, $120 pot. And the flop comes 9-9-7 with a couple of hearts.
$25.
And Brian is going to bet here,
125.
which is about the size of the pot. Now, I mean, even if Nader had a flush draw with overcards and he moved all in,
I know.
Brian would call. But look at this, he
He's
calls
calling.
with ace queen. Wow. So the pot's now about 370, turns a 5,
All right, I'm all in, Sam.
All
Stop.
in.
and Brian moves all in.
Stop drawing,
Just
Sam.
put this in.
No, she wants to go.
Well, if you thought that ace queen was good there on the flop, is he going to call again on the turn?
Right.
He can't beat ace king.
No.
Some sort of a push.
He can't beat a pair of 8s. He can
He
only
can't beat any pair.
Yeah. He can beat king high.
He could beat, ace
But
jack.
Brian raised to 63
Yeah.
flop, right?
That's more than that.
I guess he could beat
That's
king
more than
queen.
Would he make it 63 flop with that?
Probably not.
Probably not.
So the pot, because and actually Nader's going to fold
Sam, you
there.
want to see? You sure? I do. See?
Yeah, we want to see.
Okay. I'll show you my card.
And Brian takes it down.
I don't like that pushing all the shit in.
So the button is over there in seat 2. Brian moved all in, which in essence would have put seat 9 in for about $250
If
more.
he made the call.
Yeah.
Now we're even.
That's going to be one of the funniest things I've heard. I was asking the floor host out there why the people were calling the seat 9 Sam, because his name is...
We have Nader.
His name is Nader, so I wanted to make sure it was right. And he said, I don't know why they're calling him Sam. I don't know why they're calling me Sam. Call me Nader. That's pretty funny.
I figured you had an ace, and I didn't want you to do it. I had pocket kings.
Raise. Make it 30.
I had pocket kings.
And seat 3 here, small blind, he's got ace king. A couple limpers in the hand. Walter's going to raise it. Again, Walter's probably, I want to say, the tightest player on this table.
It looks like it. He made it 25 more, so it's a total of 30.
Jesus calls with deuce 5.
Good. I'm glad I
And Nader's in there again with a ace rag.
I wouldn't let him draw anymore.
I mean, Walter's
Deuce 5.
sometimes I think that Walter plays a little bit tight weak. Like if the flop doesn't hit him, he might not bet here. Jack 10-8, and he did check. He did check from up front. And everybody checks. Well, now an ace comes on the turn here.
Bet 75.
Now Nader has top pair and a gut shot. And he's going to call, and he is in kicker trouble. It's a $70 bet.
Oh, yeah.
So the pot's about $200 now. And the river is a king, so anyone with a queen would have a straight. Walter has top 2. And see, he just checks it down.
Oh, yeah.
Big pair.
Yep, just checks it down.
When you do that, you're supposed to say top 2.
Again, sometimes I think that Walter tends to play a little bit passively.
Ah, yeah.
Which
You,
though,
you would have bet there on the river? You know, I was
I don't
thinking
know.
I,
I mean-
might have, because I think he only had $50 or $60 left. And
Yeah, if
he
he's
would have called it, so why not stick it in
exactly.
there?
I mean, you got to start. I mean, if the problem is you could put the guy in, try to put seat 9 on a hand. Now he called the turn when an ace appeared, and he checked the flop. I mean, do you think he might have had a pair with a gut shot, like something like Queen Jack? Wouldn't he have bet the flop? Maybe something like Queen 10. Wouldn't you bet the flop with anything, any part of that, if it got checked to him? So when you bet the turn when an ace appears, maybe you put him on ace rag. So
No, it smells good.
yeah, that's the thing that sometimes just goes through your head.
Eat, Sam. Oh, you told me already.
Make it
Salmon.
15.
Seat 1 here, Rudy is going to raise to 15. He's got
Once
ace.
again, I'm talking about the
Okay, I
difference
call
in the
because
amount
he
of his
did.
raises.
Yeah,
I knew
ace
that.
4 of clubs.
So a suited ace is a small raise. Pocket kings is a big raise.
Get out the button, Judd.
4-way action.
Check.
3 spades here.
Have a spade, and it's a big
9,
one.
6, 8. Jesus has got the king in his hand. And he's got a gut shot. And he's going to bet.
And 35.
He bets 35. The pot was 60, so it's half size pot bet. And it might be just enough to take it down, although Brian does have top pair here.
He makes
and
a call.
He's going to call. Brian has checked blind here. Turn is a spade, and Jesus makes the flush. And he bets 100.
Bet 100.
That's a lot of money. You sure you want to do that?
And again, You got to think that the lack of sleep must kick in at some point for seat 5.
Now you can take it back.
Maybe he thinks he has the queen of spades in his hand.
No, gentleman's rule.
I don't know.
Well, he's going to get rid of it.
Man, you got the card you wanted and you lay it down.
And Jesus shows the 5 of clubs.
Ace 5 offsuit. Yeah.
And then he shows the king of spades.
You told me he was big, I hope he's not that.
You got a big spade. It wasn't that big, though.
Again, we haven't really heard from our
The queen.
big-time Jesus fan.
Wasn't good.
She hasn't emailed us the last few times
You
that
got
he's been on the
$50,
show.
see, so I'm coming flying over the top of it just to see where I'm at.
I don't know if she was upset because Jesus was getting a little friendly with the girls from a couple Friday nights ago. Maybe.
Girls that were playing in the game, or they were just
No,
hanging out with him?
girls that were massaging him and taking shots of Patron with him. And
Queen of spades, no
Can I
good.
double down and ask for a picture?
Button moves over to seat 4. And
So we're gonna yop on there.
seat 2 is going to limp in here with king 8 of clubs.
Alright, I checked it.
Found my yop.
I'm gonna sing your name.
3-way action.
Yop.
Martin
Yeah.
in the blinds.
Should have played my trap.
Here we go.
And
3.
it gets checked around. The turn's another 3. Brian calls for a 3 and he makes trips and he's going to bet with it.
Ready?
And every time he used to comment on the hand last night, Shirley, just to give you a little bit of info, he would tell the truth. I think there were 2 or 3 times last night when he would call his hand out to his opponent, tell him what they had, what he had.
If I don't
And,
bet.
Were those even suited?
Yeah.
so, again, it'll be interesting to see if he stays consistent with that as
I was
well.
in the blind.
Oh, you okay. Like, all
I'm
right.
not that bad.
Just trying to figure out what the hell you're doing in that hand with ace 3. Oh, okay.
They were both red.
El Diablo.
Just waiting for.
Yeah.
See, that's a double, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's you.
See,
Butt moves over here to seat 5.
I want to yop. I want to go to Polo Loco.
Ace king suited here for
Authentic Mexican food.
seat number 9.
What?
You know, Shirley, didn't you play in this game last week? We saw,
that's polo
or was that on a Thursday?
It was on a Thursday. It was either last week or the week before.
You did pretty well, right?
Yeah, I did okay. I hadn't planned on staying here the whole night. You know, I ended up leaving, I think, about 8 o'clock, and I was up, I don't remember exactly, somewhere like $600, $700.
Now, seat 9, Nader limped in with ace king, and Jesus raised it to 15. So let's see if Nader pulls the limp re-raise.
That's all my kids. That's all my kids out here.
Fun.
And he is. He's going to limp re-raise.
65.
He makes it
I think she said 65.
65.
Come on.
Jesus is calling.
on their
Yep, Jesus calls it king 7 offsuit.
Parental units.
That's
son.
And we're heads
You know
up.
what? My little boy is so.
So the limp re-raise, Jesus calls it king 7,
That milkman.
and he is dominated. Ace 6-5. Let's see what Nader does here. Nader checks it. Oh, excuse
No.
me. Jesus checks and
Jesus
Nader bets.
I'm a good guy.
I thought that Nader was in early position there. Excuse me. Okay, so actually what had happened was that Jesus was in the blind with king 7. Nader limped when Jesus raised. Nader was able to re-raise in the field.
Come, race, race.
So there you go.
Right.
I did that once at Hollywood. Hollywood Aurora. I'm playing it. It's
And
like 1 in the morning. I'm falling
the
asleep.
button moves over to seat number 6.
I look down and I got pocket king, so I get the 20 ready in my hand. I fall asleep in between looking at my cards, and it's my turn, you know. So it was I forget what his name was, young, short, blonde-haired kid.
And
He
a couple
was
limpers
younger
here.
brother of another dealer there. Anyways, he bangs on the table. Whoa! And I just throw the 20 in
Jesus
like
is over there with
Thanks.
Jack 4 offsuit.
Like 4 of them called me down to the river.
He limped from the button, and we're going to get a raise out of David Kelsey.
What's going on? I mean, they just see a guy
King
wake up.
queen offsuit. He makes it 50 to go. Trying to pick up those limpers.
45 more.
Walter probably doesn't have enough to make this call with pocket 6s.
I did actually fall asleep. $50.
He's going to fold.
You and I were at a game.
Jesus shoves the jack 4, and
One jack off.
David Kelsey takes it down.
Picks up a few chips.
You know, Shirley, I know you have a couple of girls, right?
Right.
How old are they?
9 and 5.
9 and 5. Do you know exactly what you're going to get them for Christmas?
Anybody here play golf?
Because if you're thinking of the perfect Christmas gift for that poker player in your life, give the
You are
Cape that keeps on giving a monthly subscription to Live at the Bike. Just write to us at www.liveatthebike.com and we'll contact you to set up a month subscription for that lucky someone.
I'm
So a
sure my
couple of
daughters would
subscriptions for your
appreciate that.
girls?
Yeah, they would love it.
Yeah.
For the PGA Tour, so I'm caddying for
Forget the Game Boy, forget the Heelys and all that stuff. Eh? Well, yeah, sit them in front of the computer for hours.
Yeah.
Guys, we're at the Buick Open. Oh, we'd be at the
Watch
Riviera.
this. Listen to Mom.
Button is here in seats.
One of the par fours on the
Seat 8.
backside. Like our fourth, fifth hole today or something. And we looked down, it's early in the morning. We were like second off. We looked down there and the marshal.
And the pot is limped around here, it looks like. 7-4 deuce, couple clubs. Jeff's got a flush draw on seat 8.
Hit it right at this guy. And we're like, four,
He's
four,
in early
four,
position.
four. Oh, God, it's going to hit him.
And he's gonna
We
bet
don't
it.
say anything else because he might move into it.
Semi-bluff, flush card, flush draw, and over cards.
Doesn't wake up. Doesn't move. I'm like, wow. The guy must have seen it
And he looks like he's gonna...
dead ass asleep.
Oh, excuse me, Jesus calls. He's got an open-ended straight draw.
So we get down there and I'm carrying the bag and the clubs are rattling
Turns
a
a
little bit.
9. Now
We
Jeff
get
picks
right
up
on
top
top
pair
of
in the club with the club draw.
And my club, like that. Wait a second. No, what number are we looking for?
And he bets again.
You don't get
Wow.
75 and
She
Jesus.
calls it, yeah,
quickly
without
calls.
even thinking.
Pot's over about $230. And the river is a king.
it. We hit a ball and it's on
You know, if that 6 or that ace came in it and it was a club,
another tournament.
Jesus would have gone, broke on the hand. Well, as much money as Jeff had. Now Jeff
Get
bets
down
the
there
river
and
and he takes
throw
it
him out
down.
of the hole and ball's right there. So we call for a ruling because you can't play off an ant bet. You're not, you
So, your show. How'd it go?
Because that's not an ant bet. I'm like, dude, that's
What's
I
that?
didn't get to see. I didn't get to watch it.
Oh, it went pretty well. I mean,
So you weren't on it as much as you had hoped.
So,
what?
You weren't on it as much as you had hoped.
Another official agrees.
No.
If it's only pretty well, then it's like, I didn't get that much airtime. If you're like, it was fantastic, it means the camera was on y'all.
Well, you know, actually, when I was watching it, it seemed like it was pretty even between Linda and I, but some other people said that Linda was on way more than me. But
Well,
I thought it
Linda's
was
Linda. So.
I thought, yeah, of course. I thought it was,
Fined, and he went, yeah,
you know, interesting that like they would turn the volume down, and you would get to hear us say, "Let's see the river," or "Let's see the turn," when there's like an exciting moment coming up.
Uh-huh.
You guys missed a couple of Bartgasms when I was there yelling at the audience.
Really?
Where's a 10? And they cut that part out. Especially the hand that I think Jennifer Tilly, Mama Grinder had pocket aces against Jennifer Tilly, like ace 9. She picked up a draw.
Hold on here. We have a set of
Yeah,
four.
we got a set of 4s here for David. And I was like, uh-oh. Tilly picks up a draw. David's going to bet 15 in here with a set of 4s. And Martin is going to call with a gut shot. And Jesus is in there with, wow, ace deuce backdoor flush possibilities. The turn is a jack, and now that fills up David. And it's time to value bet some more here.
I don't think he's going to get a call.
I think the King 9 might still call him. He bets
25.
25. Well, he doesn't really
maybe.
have that much money left.
Oh, you're right.
He's going to fold. Jesus folds. David takes it down. Looks like he's a little unhappy. At least he got some money in there.
Right.
You know?
This is the second time I've seen him on here, and he really hasn't been able to win a lot of chips. You know, he sits there patiently, and he can't get anything.
Yeah. But, yeah, you know, it was really interesting for me to see how that game was played because I didn't know what the whole cards were and then go back and see what some of them were.
And then being there the whole time and see how they edit it down.
Right.
And how they miss key hands. Unlike us here at Live at the Bike.
Exactly.
You get to see them all.
Get to see them all. Get to see them all.
Well, I unfortunately missed it. I don't know how my TiVo didn't record it, but it is scheduled to record, I think, this Saturday at some god-awful hour, like 9 in the morning or something like that.
Yeah.
Make it 25.
So I'll watch it then.
Jesus is raised here to $25. He's got queen 6 offsuit.
Name it. The Connor.
And seat 9 there, I think he's on the button. He's going to call. It's Nader with king queen. He's got Jesus dominated. Ice in seat 5 has king 10. He's going to call. And Jesus is the raiser. And he's in big trouble. $75 pot 3 ways. Ace 9 7. Well, Jesus bets here.
Well, he had his chips right there, looking like he was going to.
And there you go. He should take this one down. I don't see how any of these guys can call. Although Brian did set up, actually called with the hand and set up some moves last night.
Really?
He check raised the river with nothing when it was a very scary board. And he's capable of like making a call like that with king 10 and to set up a later play, which usually you don't see at this level.
I should have called. You know what? I'm not winning because I'm touching purple.
But I don't know. I saw that on a couple of things on 2+2 in the area. They had these polls. Who is the hottest woman on Ladies Night 3?
Oh, uh-huh.
What would your vote be?
My vote would be Isabel.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually like, and it's interesting because she wasn't even up there, I like the Grinder's wife.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's hot. That might be just by my thing
she was
for like...
pregnant
Yeah,
when she did the show.
Yeah, so what, you know? But might be my love for, you know, ethnic girls. You know,
Right.
she's Cuban. I don't know. French Canadians just never really did it for me that much. Got a raise here to $15
Right player.
by seat 6,
So what was the consensus
and he's
on
going
2
to
plus 2?
gets called here in 3 spots. Isabel was way out in the lead.
Cards in the camera, buddy. Cards.
Ace 10 6 here, and Jesus has got top pair. It's a $60 pot. And he bets
Bet 40.
$40. About the size of a little under the size of the pot.
There's actually more of day before yesterday into yesterday. 30.
And it does not look like he's going to get called. And he shows the ace, and he takes it down.
So I'm looking on 2 plus 2 and looking at some board video game for Live
Yeah,
at the Bike. What's this?
We were talking about possibly somebody developing a Live at the Bike video game, and different ideas were getting thrown around last night.
Uh-huh.
Like, for instance, when players start, they can have people like Denny, Terry the Mailman, and Nicole provide commentary. As you get better, so do the commentators. I didn't say it.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. You can now start yourself off from the $40 no limit game and move up to the whale game throughout the course of the game.
That's pretty clever. You know, one of the people on 2 plus 2, and I don't know the person's name, sent me an email, and it just said something about, you know, great job in the booth, and it talked about mine and your chemistry in here, that we get along well. And then he said that Denny occasionally needs to come in the booth when we have a menu change. And Terry needs to come in on Saturdays and Sundays.
What, when there's no show?
When there's no show.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Well, actually, I had briefly mentioned about Terry. It was kind of a sad poker story of somebody who goes broke and leaves, right?
Right.
Suddenly.
Yeah.
Just kind of fell off the face of the earth. Was a young guy.
Right.
I guess he was grinding it out in the no limit
Couldn't
game.
quite make it.
Yeah.
Move back from mom and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, just. What is it?
Sad story.
I don't know. I told her I wanted.
I don't think that a lot of people on 2 plus 2 have a lot of sympathy for him because he used to talk a big game.
Well, that's pretty much what it was, though.
Yeah.
He was talk. He was just trying to mess with everybody.
You get 50.
Rudy has got pocket jacks, and he's raises to 50. There you go. So look at the patterns of his pre-flop raise amounts. And Jesus calls with the ace 10 of diamonds. And Nader calls. And there you go. I mean, why not raise that much with a great hand? And here we go. We got about $150 pot.
Good cards you have.
And it comes 10-7-4. So is Jesus going to get in trouble here?
Well, if Rudy knew Jesus had top pair ace kicker, he could get a lot of chips from him.
Well, like I said, Rudy's pretty straightforward, so he's going to bet a lot anyways. And he bets 200 into a $150 flop with the overpair, and Jesus instantly calls. So now the pot is about $550, biggest pot of the night, and I just can't see Jesus getting away from this. I mean, if a blank comes on the turn here,
I know you got
Rudy could really make a move all in, and I think Jesus
And get all his chips.
I don't know how much. Rudy's got about
Three.
350 left.
Well, what's in front? You know, the way that it shades it, so you can't tell if it's quarter chips or...
I think they're
Oh, those are
yellow.
nickels.
There's one of them.
Turns a 9. Jesus checks.
Put it all in there, Rudy.
He checks
Oh, yeah,
behind
that's
him.
friend.
Oh, that's right. And the river is a deuce. And I think he told him he had jacks.
Yak, what do you got?
Yaks,
Okay.
10, no yaks.
I think Jesus just said he had
not a yak.
pocos ganos, which means no balls in Spanish.
Well, I guess he'll probably bet next time.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever won that much money with yaks. I've lost that much money.
Jesus, you just gave up
Well,
your
that
free
was
card.
actually. I think it was with Rudy before. Rudy could have had a lot of money when he's had over pairs against Jesus when Jesus has had top pair with an ace kicker. I think there was both times it was ace 10.
Automatic
So
tip.
Yeah, but the last time Jesus hit his ace, right? Or was it the other way around? Jesus had the pair and
yeah,
Rudy hit the ace.
exactly. But it would have been. You're right. You're right. It would have been interesting to see how it would have played out. Kings against ace 10. Flop came 10 high. Turn was an ace.
Right.
All blind. Big blind. Piquito, grande. Piquito grande. Small moves.
So Jesus is going down a little bit here, down to about 800. Rudy's up to 640, and Brian's still at the lead of 1,500.
And Martin's still struggling down there at the bottom.
But he's not calling.
Sir, please.
Well, the real question is, like, if you just sit in a poker room and you're not doing anything physically, I mean, so you haven't sweat at all. Are you just going to start to smell anyways after a while?
Oh, you're talking about Brian.
Well, yeah, I don't think he smelled. I mean,
Well,
I
of
was out
course you
there.
would have to smell
Really?
if you don't take a shower for a couple days.
Well, 9-5-4 here on the flop. Jesus bets with King 4.
Sam's on the flush draw.
Nader calls. Rudy calls. Rudy's got the best hand, and Brian's got the flush draw.
Diamond draw.
Turn is a 3. Brian had a gut shot, and he's hit
He
it.
hits, yeah.
He has hit it. Deuce 6 gets there. And it gets checked around to Rudy, who bets 50 now.
I believe it would.
The pot is now about $130, 50 to call. Now, Brian does not have the nut straight here.
Raise it.
And he is going to check raise.
We're going to put 200 on top.
Make it 250.
So there you go, 250 to go. 200 more, 250 to go.
Then you bring out the purples. You must be serious.
I just want to get rid of them.
Nader folds. And again, like I said, Rudy's pretty
No, I
straightforward,
had a
solid
really,
player.
really neat little hand.
He's
I
not
didn't
going to get
want you
involved.
mess with it.
What do you have out there?
I had
Straight
a
and a flush
straight.
draw.
You got a straight?
I had a straight and a gut shot straight flush.
Big one, sir.
Did I overbet that too much? I did, didn't I?
And the button here moves to Jesus in seat 6. Boy, some of these ideas for a video game are just off the wall. Really great. Anybody, involved with Microsoft, Xbox out there, PlayStation 2 development?
I don't want you to call.
Yeah, we got our friend, that emailed us one time. I forget his name off the top of my head, but he I think he worked for Xbox. He works for Xbox or PlayStation. EA Sports. There you go.
Make it 25.
And EA actually has not developed a poker game yet. I was reading an article about that. So there you go. Jesus has raised here to 25.
Well, that definitely wouldn't be just your standard.
I was giving Jesus a hard time.
Extreme poker. Got a call here by
You guys
Rudy.
want to go heads up or you want me to get in the middle?
King 10.
I'll get in the middle.
And Brian calls with king 9. So $75 pot 3 ways. Ace, jack, 9.
You're the best ever. You got it dripping down the side there. Perfect.
Okay. See if I can make that.
Go.
Okay.
And again, if Jesus bets here, could take it down.
75.
I mean, Brian would have to be pretty ballsy to call with king 9. Rudy's got a gut shot straight draw with backdoor spades. And again, Jesus is his friend, so does he want to go against him?
Well, I mean, you have to think of it in two ways. You could call knowing that you're going to get free cards, or
Right.
or then you
There you
think, well, if I hit it, I'm not going to get paid off.
I give a 5-minute timer. Wait.
But then you also can think Jesus might not have anything, so I might have the best hand now anyways. Plus, I'm going to get free cards with my draw. But you're right, there are no implied odds if Brian doesn't call in between. Just adds an element of poker that really shouldn't be there because you should always just play your hand straight. And there you go, Jesus takes it down. I don't think Brian's missed many meals, though, since day 4. He's going right at that Sunday in his 4-day poker match.
Hey, Mo, I'm going to play the Wednesday night game next week.
And Brian just said that he's going to play the Wednesday night game next week, Shirley. Well,
That what?
that he's going to play in the Wednesday night game next week. Brian wants to play. And I think that game is going to be 5,100 tomorrow, from what I heard from Yosh, because
Yeah.
he said that it was just played a little
Can play it,
tight.
I can play it.
When? Last week?
Last week was tight. Yeah.
We went to school together.
You and Mark?
Yeah, we carpooled together.
Limped around here,
good?
886, and Jesus has got trips.
Real good. He was cool.
And seat 8 here is the better.
San Gabriel looks like
With Jack 5, he has nothing. Let's see how Jesus plays it.
time.
No,
He
that's
just
fine.
calls.
That's fine, that's fine.
All right.
Looks like he just calls here.
2 players.
I believe we are heads up. And Jeff is
He wants his real name.
really in bad shape.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's done with it.
Marcus safe.
Ashraf.
Jeff checks, Jesus bets,
I revised it one time.
You did?
and Jeff
Revise
folds.
it too.
Now, the only thing, again, that I say with players that are really, really aggressive, like Jesus, or action players,
Lines, please.
is why not raise with your good hands as well as your bad hands? You might even get somebody to call you all the way down with a pair of 6s there. Now, C8 was just making a move. But, as long as you bet your good and your bad hands, it's going to make it better both ways. That you might be able to run over someone when you don't have something that's that good, and you're going to get paid off when you have a monster.
If someone got it, we'll be ready. Well, what? Took her an hour and a half.
It's like the pot is limped around here.
5 players.
Ace, deuce, 9, all hearts. Michael in seat 4.
$10.
He's going to bet $10. This is the first time we've seen him play a hand all
Exposed card,
night.
Jack of clubs.
And he bets with top pair. No one has a heart here. Well, Rudy's got the 3 of hearts with a pair, but I'm sure he's probably not going to get involved.
3 players, 1 guy.
And he folds.
Done.
And Martin folds.
So somehow I missed that this announcement here about bringing the home game to Live at the Bike. That would be
Yes.
too much fun.
If you have a home game that you'd like to bring to the bike, just write to us at liveatthebike.com and give us your contact information, and we'll arrange a night to remember for you and your friends or family. Be treated like royalty, only at the bike.
You get a happy ending.
And if you also, we are actually open to possibly putting a game like that on Live at the
Remember, put
Bike
your
as
card
well.
in the
But
middle of the window so home audience can see 'em.
we'd have to be pretty confident that it would need to be entertaining. I mean, I would love to have a bunch of players from 2+2 sitting here in a cash game, but I don't actually know if that would be all that entertaining because of the tightness of
Right.
how that game would probably run.
300.
Well, it'd be kind of hard to judge that, though.
30.
I'm in.
Don't you think? I mean, you can't look
I
at a
know
table
Sammy's
and say,
gonna
oh, you
go.
look like
Sam
tight players.
comes
You know,
I know
if the 9 people come
Like
in.
the
and
9
say-
people that look like Russ Fox, I can say, well, these guys look like tight players.
30 total.
Jeff has raised here.
Position.
Pocket 8s. Button
I've got about
calls.
1200.
Nader with Queen 10. It's a $30 pre-flop
All right,
raise.
B, do what
And
you
boy,
do,
we've
buddy.
got
Miracle.
5-way
Do
action
that
here.
magic that you do.
King, Jack, 6. Couple diamonds. Remember, pocket 8's just a razor. It's a $150 pot.
Every time. Better.
That's the reputation, man. That's what we got to do.
Ryan here has the best
I'm
hand,
gonna start calling you Flushy.
but Nader has open-ended.
75.
75.
And Jeff is going to bet half the pot. He bet 75, and the button moves all in here with his remaining
I
stack
would have called 75.
Yeah, but
All in 100. 10.
with the open-ended straight draw. Makes it 110, and that gets the best hand out of there right
Yes, it
now.
does.
And it gives him more outs because he has overcards
So, yeah,
to Jeff's
Nader's not
pocket
looking
8s.
too bad.
Yeah.
I hope you're on a flush
So
draw.
overcards.
He has backdoor flush draw, open and straight draw, queen, or a 10 draw.
I hope you're on a flush
So
draw.
here we go
Turn him over, Sammy.
Come on, Sammy.
for about
I
a
know you have
$350 pot.
Yeah, I know.
10. A draw.
Well, the turn is
An
an
eight.
8, and then Jeff has a set now, so he needs a straight, and the river's a 3. And he
You killed
doesn't
my
get there.
action, Sam. You killed my action.
You got paid off.
And again, they keep calling him Sam.
I know.
And I don't think his name's Sam.
Bet after I checked the card. I never would have.
Bust him another time. He's like, I'm not Sam.
Yeah,
Calling
that's,
him Sam.
looks like he's going to buy in here.
Mine's smaller. Well,
Have no protection.
Oh, man. Thanks. No, I had to do that.
So he's going to buy for 300, which is the minimum.
After the next card, if somebody bets big, I have to go away. I never would have gotten there.
Nice hand, Lucky. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'll take that, man.
Button now is in seat number 1, I believe.
I'm glad you weren't in there, man. I would have taken, I would have rivered you. Turned you or whatever.
So seat 9 has got 300 behind. Jeff has limped here. Jack 9.
Now I got a purple chip to bet you out of the pot.
It looks like it's just going to be limped
Yeah,
around
I'll sell it to you
here
for $35.
and
That way you don't
between
have
the
to worry about me
blinds.
using
So
it.
3-way action.
that's it. 3 players.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know what I have. Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, now I gotta see
Deuce
what I-
3-7. Jack, excuse me, Queen High is good
$10
right now. Well, actually, Walter's got a pair of 3s.
Pair of
He's going to
threes.
bet. He's going to bet $10. And he's going to take
Oh, what do
it.
you mean lucky? I was ahead of you at the time. I was ahead of you.
Thank you, Walt.
I had a pair and you did not. I was ahead of you.
about even money.
Oh, I know. I'd rather have had his hand.
2 overs and a open ender.
I would have rather have had his hand after the.
Again, after the flop. Actually,
Button
2
moves over
overs,
to seat
2
2.
overs and a
Martin.
draw and runner stuff.
Jesus lives in with Queen Rag.
Yeah, rag. Queen deuce.
Brian Kelsey's going to raise.
Played a hand yet.
Raise it to 35.
$35 with pocket 5s. Ace Jack of clubs over there for Walter. Look at that. He doesn't play it.
Well, I wouldn't really play it against David
Right.
neither.
I would have traded
No, David, yeah.
in a heartbeat.
And Jesus quickly calls.
Don't play ace jack. Play queen deuce.
Oh, he's flopped an open-ended straight draw. King, Jack, 10.
And you know David hates that flop. But he
But the
still
thing
has
with
the best
Jesus is
hand.
that he's just going to call. I've never seen him check raise with a draw before, so
Honestly, though,
$30 bet and he calls. But the thing is that David might just shut down and kind of give him a reverse free card here.
you know what I'm saying?
Well,
A reverse free card?
he's gonna bet here again.
I understand. No, I know.
He bet 75,
100.
You'll chase.
It's like 100.
You overpay.
and Jesus quickly calls again.
Oh!
River's a deuce. Wow, and he runs into trips at the end, and he checks it. And look at this. David thinks he needs to bet here to win, and Jesus check raises him all in. And Jesus was demoted in the video game down from the whale game down to this level, and he's going to get promoted back up.
Promoted, why? By his genius play or his lucky suck out? You can't get promoted by doing the wrong thing.
It's all
and
about
getting
winning
lucky.
money.
You thought of it, it would have been a great idea.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Pop off to you.
Yeah.
No, no. What?
And his hand's still going on. David's still thinking what to do.
Well, is David thinking that maybe he's making this move with a busted straight draw? He had a queen and he was calling with an open-ended straight draw. Little does he know.
To the winner.
Well, you're right in that fact, but he had queen deuce. And it's like, you know, how does deuce help?
125, same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unless he just flopped a monster, like he, you know, maybe he had queen 9 and he just flopped it and he played it in this manner.
I won it
And,
last time, and I think you can't win it. You're a good
David's
player.
gonna muck.
I don't know that I want to do that though.
And, did he
what
show
a
the
move.
deuce?
I think he did.
Wow.
Dude, look at all the.
Actually, I
Oh,
think he showed the
he showed
queen.
the queen.
Showed the queen. Well, I mean, what I was going to say was that you got to think that David didn't think his hand was good when he bet the river, right?
You gotta get lucky 3 or 4 times.
Why would you?
I would think so,
Why would
yeah,
you
'cause you wouldn't bet.
with pocket 5s there at
Right.
the end if you think that your hand's the best? There's no way. No way.
I didn't ask.
I was surprised that he kept betting on the turn.
That way, a couple places are going that way. No, it's 12.
I won it Thursday night. Well, it's always changing, yeah. I split it with you, right? What else?
Button moves over to seat 3. King Queen of Diamonds for
Raise it.
Nader,
35.
seat 9. And Jesus is raising here. 6-5 of clubs.
Goodbye.
No, you got to.
Nader calls.
Sorry.
Because they're always going
I'm trying
on.
to give him the card.
I understand.
I know. We have a thing worked out.
Let's just bring it up here.
Sorry.
Seriously.
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
I am right.
Couple ace tens.
You are right. I'm wrong. And I
Walter
Brian
muck.
and Walter.
Yep, now Rudy calls with the ace
30
10.
more fire.
Wait. I see ace 10 and seat 1.
Seat
Ace
1, seat
10.
5, and seat 3.
Oh, there
all
were
had
3
ace
of them.
10s.
Wow.
Walter folded on the button with ace 10 suited, and Brian called. Now, Walter would have had ace 10 of clubs. And the flop comes 9, 5, 3, 2 clubs. Pretty good flop for Jesus.
Yes.
Club draw and a pair.
I'll call the camera.
all the money in his hand has to be put in the pot.
And it
Find me a commit line. I'll
sounds like
Well, seat 9's saying that if your money goes forward with the stack, all of it has to play, which is not true here. You can cut your chips. And then when you cut your chips,
Very good.
that determines the action.
so he was trying to make Brian bet, but
You can stick out a whole stack and only put $20 out there.
but Brian ends up checking, and
100.
Jesus bets. He bets 100.
What, dollars?
100 million.
About 100, so it's about $240 pot, 100 to call. And Brian mucks. And I mean, ace 10 of clubs, obviously, it's not the best hand. But, I mean, you've got a razor and several people in there. And Walter just mucks it, like, on the button, like it's trash. Does not play.
see what, boys? I cannot hit a crowd.
Keep on, Will.
I don't have flat lag. I can't hit one.
And a lot of times the cash game rules differ from tournament rules because sometimes in cash games, like you're kind of allowed to go in with multiple stacks at different times
Well,
as a
you're not
bet, as
supposed
opposed
to.
to be like a string
Well, yeah, you're
string
not
bet.
supposed to.
Yeah, but it's not as clear cut as it is in tournaments because
Purple chip.
Right.
you know it's as long as it's kind of in one motion, they'll allow it.
50.
I can't call.
Jeff has raised here to 50. He's got
I have
pocket
to look and
queens.
see if I can't
Come
call.
on, caddy boy.
I can't call.
All right.
And he gets no action. That's it.
Tell me what, let's
What else
say.
you don't want? You don't want action.
You get a blue chip?
I don't want it.
And he shows
Yeah,
it.
that's my least favorite hand.
I just want what's in there.
His favorite hand, really?
Yeah, well, I mean, I always like when I get it, but I don't do well with them. I've been knocked out of tournaments with that hand more than any.
Here.
Thanks, Cliff.
Brian,
Thank you, sir.
what's
Appreciate
our
it.
rule about that?
Don't touch it. Small bet.
I don't want action. I hate that hand.
I was almost going to raise it just to be funny.
I would have called.
I know. I'm glad I thought better of my
And then
that's
an
funny over
ace
there.
or a king would have come out on the flop, and I would have had to fold when you bet it.
He's got the first card.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you.
And the button here is moved
Nice lay down.
to seat number
Got
5.
7 deuce.
And he's going to raise.
It's going to be 35.
And he's got
35.
7-4 offsuit.
Pocket aces.
Makes it
No, that's
35 to
16
go.
outs, pocket ace.
So I have 2 of your outs.
Jesus looks like he's going to call with 8-9 offsuit.
Damn, I still got this purple chip.
I want you to overbet the pot.
David's out of there.
3 players.
2 players, he ain't calling.
How much more? He's calling.
And Rudy asks how much more, and he's not going to play.
Players.
We're heads up a bunch of crappy cards. 8-9 against 4-7. Jesus has got top pair. Brian picks up a draw. $70 pot. Brian bets 40. Jesus quickly calls. $150 pot.
More deuce.
Turns a 9. Jesus picks up top 2 now.
Right.
Brian's got an open-ended straight draw, and it goes check,
Check.
check. And the river's a jack. Jesus checked, and Brian checked right behind him. And
Jesus
now-
is whispering in his ear.
Jesus bets. He bets 100.
It took me a long time to get her counting my
He's
fingers.
counting to see if he has the straight. 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 4 cards. Not there.
And look at this. Brian's going to raise him.
Wow.
He's going to make it 300 to go. Jesus bets 100, and Jesus is just going to call.
I got Zippo and I liked it.
Wow.
I missed.
I thought Jesus would. Well, he had 2 pair there.
Got to show both.
8-9 is good, and he picks up about a $800 pot right there. Jesus bet the river 100. Brian made it 300.
Bluff,
Well, I have to give
Jesus
credit to
calls.
Brian for that move.
You shouldn't even try.
It was kind of, unfortunate. It was, he picked the wrong opponent.
Well, I get
But,
it.
he missed, and the raise and counting on the
Right.
fingers. Okay, do I have a straight? Okay, yeah, I have a straight. But, he knows he doesn't.
The only thing
Put in
about
a raise.
that is I've seen Jesus play so much that he's usually not going to bet into you on the river with nothing, just because you check behind him on the turn. So
I go all in, you call me.
yeah, and if Brian
If
did
I
go
go
all
all
in,
in.
Jesus would have called. I think he would have called.
You can't fool Jesus. What are you trying to do over there?
He goes all in, you must.
No, he calls you instantly, he said.
So Jesus starting to get on a little roll. He's got Queen Deuce. He's gonna limp.
Good.
5 players.
5-way action.
Almost a family pot here.
$25 pot. Nader picks up a flush draw right off the bat.
Check.
Ace 9 deuce.
Check.
Maybe.
No.
He's gonna bet.
35. You go down to the hot tub the other day. Today.
He bets 35.
What else? I took his phone and transferred to there, so I go down every day because I'm just doing stuff, all on my side.
Action is over to Jesus.
He has a lucky deuce.
And he's gonna call. Oh, wow.
Actually, it's the same exact hand, Queen Deuce.
Yep. So if Nader doesn't continue to follow through here, Jesus is in position.
2 players.
It's about a $100 pot. Here we go to the turn. Turns a king. Now Nader has another draw. He bets again.
10 jack or diamond.
Bets 100, and Jesus is not going to play this one. Rabbit Cam shows an 8. Nader would not have gotten there.
No, he wasn't.
Come back at night. For the hot tub, the can's still there yet. I just took it home and gave her a bunch of shoes and laundry. And so she sleeps in my apartment today and goes out at night. And no, there's actually another family that was looking at her with 2 kids, and if they want the cat, that's fine. We'll buy me.
Good call. Kind of easy, though.
And seat 1 has got ace queen offsuit here, Rudy.
Once every hand.
And he's just going to limp, it looks like.
Clockwise kind of thing.
Easy. Easy.
Yeah, $5.
Is that easy? Oh, I thought he was going to.
Jesus limps. And
20.
David's going to
15 more to
raise.
go.
Makes it 20 to go with king 8 suited. Jeff calls. Jack 6. Wow. Nader calls.
Raise it 100.
I think they've all
And look at
lost
this.
their mind.
And Rudy's going to pull the limp re-raise with ace queen. He makes it 100 more. And again, I mean, Rudy's played pretty straightforward, solid poker all night. When that type of player pulls a limp re-raise.
But I don't think that these people are paying attention to what the others are doing. I mean, David hasn't played a hand. He raises and still gets Jeff to call with Jack 6.
There's somebody else behind you.
Well, the only thing is, like you pointed out, though, before, it seems like everybody's been raising heftier amounts with really good hands. That raise, David was on the button, and he kind of made it 20 to go when there were 5 people that had limped, which means it's almost
a
smells
pot
like,
builder.
yeah, it just smells like a hand that just wants a little bit of raise in there as opposed to really pumping it out. And the button moves over to Jeff in seat 8. Martin's going to raise it up to 20. He's got pocket jacks in seat 2. Brian Iceman calls with King 3 suited. Jesus calls with Queen Rag offsuit.
Does that make your headset go trackety track?
100.
And look at this. Nader is going to raise
making
to
it
100 with ace 10.
Well, he protects his hand so he doesn't have to put in as many chips because Martin only has a little bit.
Martin, obviously, he calls
If
for
Jesus doesn't make the call.
Yeah. So he's trying to get it heads up with Martin.
Right.
That's exactly what he did. So that play actually probably had a little bit of, it had some value to it. Knocked the other 2 people out.
Mm-hmm.
Now
See
his
all
only
5
problem
cards
is
for
he
a
only
cheap
has
price.
1 over.
Oh, that hurts.
King 6-4.
God damn it, I'm ahead.
Not that much.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I am too.
See the turn.
No ace.
It's a 9. Martin has the only heart.
Oh.
And the river's a jack, so he makes a set
Oh,
there.
I would have lost.
And he doubles through. There you go.
3 flop tip.
On the river too. You see the 9? The 9?
So are you dressing up for David's party?
Are you going to David's party?
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. Our fellow commentators having a Halloween party on Saturday night.
Snapped off.
Which we showed the invitation for last week.
Yes.
Remember?
Raise it, make it 25.
I went out and bought a costume. I'm not a Halloween person.
Me neither.
I
You went
I don't
and bought
really.
a costume?
Yeah, I went and bought just a cheap one.
Oh, I sold them all to him, but get rid of them.
$25 raise here by Jesus with ace 4.
Got one right here. Want to buy it?
Nope.
Raise up to 100.
I sure don't want to buy it now.
You're going to use it again?
And Rudy is going to raise. Out of the blind, he makes it to 100 with ace, queen, and spades. And seat 2 is going to move all in, but we can't quite see what he has. He's got pocket queens. So raised by Jesus, Rudy makes it 100 to go with ace, queen. Seat 2 moves all in with pocket queens. And we'll get a count as to how much more it is.
Yeah.
It's only 60 more, so I'm sure that Rudy's going to call.
Marty!
Nader's got 4-3 of hearts. I don't know what his deal is.
How much more?
It's 160 total, sir.
160 total.
Yes.
He's going to make
Oh,
the
my
call with
goodness.
3-4 of hearts. Wow.
Got all the action in the world.
Wow.
All the action in the world.
He's in. He called.
Oh, yeah,
Seat 9 called, and Rudy's going to call. So 160 times 3 plus the initial dead
What is
money.
Nader thinking?
It's over a $500 pot with a side pot between Nader and Rudy.
I would bet against that.
And look at that, the case queen comes off. Queen 8-7. And pretty much everyone's drawing dead.
Yeah, Nader needs a
Yeah.
running for a straight, a 5-6.
And look at this. Rudy bets 100. And, I mean, Nader, he says he's pot committed, but he makes the call with 4-3 here. I mean, at this point, you almost can throw your hand away with this flop.
Wow.
Rudy bet, Nader called. And now there's more money on the side. Rudy bet like the remaining 75 of Nader's stack, and Nader called with 3-4 hearts. The turn is a jack. Nader is drawing totally dead. He already throws his hands in.
He might win the side pot.
And the river's a 5.
Not anymore.
For the side pot?
Not anymore.
And Walt's like, well, why did you muck your hand? You might win the side pot.
Right.
They didn't know that he only had 4
4,
3 of
yeah.
hearts. Wow. That's unbelievable. And Rudy actually ends up making about, well, he made about 80 or 85 on the side, but
Yeah,
lost.
not too much.
Lost some in the main.
Are you mugging for the camera?
But Martin really hasn't played many hands, and nice back-to-back. Jacks and queens both hold up.
Doesn't matter.
That would have helped you out either way. Yeah, one couldn't do aces.
What do you pull back?
25.
$25 raise here.
Hassan Habib.
By Jesus, he's got pocket 5s. David calls with king, queen suited. Now that's a hand that you might not necessarily be a re-raising hand, but why not raise Jesus if
2 players.
you know
If
he's
he'll
coming
call
in with
with any
any
2
2
cards.
cards? Yeah. I mean, king, queen suited. I guess it's suited. It can hold up multi-way. 9-8 deuce.
I haven't seen him play, but I ran into him yesterday.
Jesus has the best hand, and he's gonna bet.
I know, and it's been like, what, 5 years before that? At least 5 years, man. Probably 10 years.
He bets 20 here,
It's probably just all set up for this.
and the action is on David.
Because I don't have change. Huh? I had no change. I had 20 extras.
Here you go.
Yes, I did.
And David's asking Jesus, "Did you hit a set?"
Fucking queens, man. You just had to have one of jacks before that.
And I don't exactly know what he could be thinking of. He has backdoor spade possibilities.
Every day. It's like a
He has
dog.
2 overcards.
And
He
he's going to
mucks.
fold. And Jesus shows the 5s. And the other thing that we were kind of going through last night was that David really couldn't, he wouldn't call Brian in seat 5 ice, because I think Brian gave himself that name. So usually when you
okay.
give yourself a nickname,
It doesn't count.
right? He gave himself the name Ice. Did you give yourself the nickname Poker Babe?
It's stuck because of my website. So
Ah.
I had named my website that, but that wasn't calling myself Poker Babe.
Oh, look at that. They're coming back. Isn't that beautiful?
Seat 2 has the button.
You're almost 2-1 underdogs.
8 and 9 limp in here.
I actually like Siren
They win
better.
tonight.
Siren?
Yeah.
As a
Most
nickname?
people- Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, it's from old literature, like mythology, and there were the women of song. They lured men to the
The gates of
islands
hell.
of. Basically, they were
To their
yeah.
death.
Basically, they were kind of evil women. They lured
Did you see the first pot?
the right. They
I
were.
went all in on the first pot.
Their voices would bring the men into the island, and the ships like would crash coming in, or something like that. Like they.
The flop was checked around. Nader did not bet with ace queen. He did not raise pre-flop. Seat 4 is bet 15 on the turn with ace 4. Jeff calls. Jeff has got a straight. He didn't raise the turn with 6-7. He has a straight. And he's just calling. Seat 4 bets. Seat 8 calls. Jeff's got a straight.
10 high straight.
Yeah, sucker man.
I can't bet it. 3 diamonds out there, man.
Oh, he can't bet it. There's 3 diamonds out there. Oh. He takes it down.
Yeah.
So you like to lure men in with your voice
Heartbeat.
from
Well,
the
it's
ocean,
not. Yeah, they're just.
crashing
They
into.
give this image of being these beautiful women, but they're evil
Are they
in a
women?
sense. Yes. Well, they were. Isaac, help me out. Were they maroon people or were they women? They were.
Oh, he's a cleaner.
All I'm waiting for him to re-raise me. I don't need that.
25.
Right. He says that they're illusions and it would lead them to their death. It was from the book
So
Odyssey.
So it actually wasn't evil women, but
Well,
illusions.
but also in mythology. You do a search on Google sometime.
I do not.
Welcome to the story of my life, Eva Women. Rudy's got 5-6 of hearts here in seat 1. Jesus has got deuce 3 of diamonds. And we're heads up.
Oh, look at that. Oh,
Ace 3. Jesus has got the best
Jesus
hand.
flops a monster.
I believe that Jesus brought this one in pre-flop.
don't say anything. I'm not going to say anything.
Rudy outturns him. And they don't play against each other, so they're just going to check it down. Rudy's going to take it down with a pair of 5s.
What was that?
So they were known for wailing, right? Like their screams.
They're right.
Is that where they got like the term for like a fire engine siren or a police officer siren?
Probably came from.
Yeah,
They
they named it that.
Every time you bet, they always con.
Button moves over to seat 4.
So is that?
These White Sox are just incredible. Look at those.
And we're going to get another raise here by Jesus.
Oh, did somebody say 5-4 White Sox? Oh, isn't that terrible?
Deuce 9 of spades. Nader had limped in with 4-6 of diamonds, and Nader calls.
2 players.
Heads up.
My uncle's sitting right there. $12,000 you get for the seats.
Jesus outflops the guy again. Got a pair of 9s.
50.
He bets 50.
Go, but,
Nader does have bottom pair. And look at this. He's gonna get him a call.
better deal. Give me your card.
Nader doesn't have much left.
12,000 for how many seats?
He was committed last time with 4 high, so
Turns a
Going
queen
with
of
6.
spades. Now Jesus has a flush draw. And he bets and he takes it down.
What do you think? If you make that would pay 5 cents.
So Siren is a sea nymph.
right. Part
Yeah.
woman. It says part woman and part bird.
Reasonable price. I want to go up to.
Supposed to lure sailors to destruction on the rocks where they slip. And they would advise them to. Odysseus would order his crew to cover
Yo
the
sé, yo sé. Tú sabes que sale igualmente la
And you
We
named
just looked
yourself
that up.
after a nymph.
I picked that, yeah. Because, like I said earlier, I'm this all-American girl, but I'm really evil in disguise.
Uh-oh.
Okay, maybe not totally evil, but somewhat.
Button moves into seat 5. A couple of limpers.
I got you. Too busy getting in my own way.
Go ahead. Go.
And we're going to see a family pot here.
6 enough.
6-way action.
That is enough there.
Ace, Jack, 7, couple spades. Jesus again has the best hand. He's going to bet.
That's 30.
$30.
30 cents, I go out.
It doesn't look like anybody has anything here.
2 players.
10-9 is in there.
With that ad.
Nader in seat 9. What is Nader doing?
He's tilting.
Chasing a gut shot. Jesus bets again. Nader follows, and Jesus shows the ace.
Showed the 4.
Wow. Incredible.
So you never read that book?
I
read
didn't.
that in
I've never
college.
really been into mythology.
But, I mean, you didn't have to read it in college?
No.
Well, I mean, I had a literature class, so.
We had a nouveau weirdo type of like English in Syracuse. It was called English Textual Studies, where it wasn't really about that type of classic literature unless you were an English major, which was something different.
Mm-hmm.
That's 15.
So,
Oh, some of the books that I read in there were just incredible. Books that I wouldn't read on my own, like what's it called? The trilogy, Dante's Inferno.
6
That right?
players.
That was a great book.
6-way action, $15 pre-flop raise. We need to see seat 2's cards. King, Queen, 8. Jesus flopped bottom 2 pair.
15.
$15 bet here by Rudy. Seat 2 calls. 8-9 he has, so he's got bottom pair. And Jesus, the action's on him. Everyone's called. He's got bottom 2 pair. And he should raise here, and it looks like he is.
He's getting out some chips. Looks like he has $115.
No?
Yeah, I think he's
There we go.
So 100 more. He called
100
15,
more.
made it 100 more.
So the pot was about 140, and now he makes it
Yeah,
240,
no one else is
100
going
to
to be able
call.
to call
Yeah.
this.
And he takes it down. He's on quite the roll right now.
I trust you have the king to go with that. What he said? We knew there was another one of those.
Queen 8. Suited. Suited.
I was going to raise him with the king since I have it, but this is not a bad kick.
So nice, isn't it?
Nice hand.
Small button. Oh, look at his face.
Button moves over to seat 7.
Thank you, Blair. Players can't be answering the phone at the table. No matter what.
Ace Queen here for seat 2. And he's going to raise.
And raise to 30.
Makes it
Bunch of
30 to
ace
go.
rag hands. Ace deuce, ace 3.
Ace is loaded 2 out. 4 runs.
Jesus calls with Jack 6. Nader's in there with ace rag. Three of the aces are dead. Here we go. Jesus is on a streak here. He's on a hot streak. Oh, ace,
Last
8,
ace.
6. And
So
Martin.
Nader will probably lose the rest of his chips.
Think so? Yeah.
I think so.
Look at this. Jesus calls. And Nader check raises all in, it looks like, or moves all in. Yeah, he's check raised all in.
65 more.
So he calls the 40 and raises 60 more. Now, can Martin re-raise here? He's just going to call.
He can, but
Okay, now we'll
And
have a
so does
5
Jesus. Wow. So we've got about a $350 pot here. And look at this. The turn is a jack. Oh, wow. Wow.
he's on fire.
Jesus is on fire. And there's going to be some money here on the side, so let's see what Martin does.
100?
No. It's 30, 60, 100.
So
He's betting a little bit more than 100.
so Jesus is betting. Did Martin check?
There we go.
Okay, so Jesus bets 100 and Martin calls, and the river's a 6 and Jesus fills up. Oh my. About a $550 pot.
Now
And
he's-
seat 2 has moved all in against Jesus, and Jesus has got the full house, and he's going to call. He's going to make the call.
Of course he's going to make
Ace
the
Queen
call.
moves all in. Jack 6 is going to take down about a $1,000 pot right there.
Show for the side.
Absolutely incredible.
3 sixes. Full of jacks.
Wow. There it is, Jack 6. Oh, man. And, well, Martin loses all of his money. Nader loses
They're
all
just
of his
disgusted
money.
with Jesus, too.
Jesus
One's
takes it
handling it
down.
a little bit better than the other one. Nader is giving him the evil eye. He's so mad.
Call with bottom pair, hit 2 pair, and hit a button.
He wants to yell that nymph whale out right now.
Thank you, Blair.
He wants to lower him to his death.
right.
You really are Jesus. You might really be him. That was insane.
That's incredible.
Nice.
It was difficult to see what happened there because on the turn, I think C2 checked. And Jesus bet, and the guy called, and then he just moved all in on the river. So there you go.
You know, and all coming in over the top on the flop. Probably would have avoided that whole thing.
Well, it would have.
But well, that he raises me and go out. But I already put 40. He calls me 60 more. And then I catch that 2 pairs.
No, you bet to see where you were. He called for 60 more, you have to call. And then you catch 2 pair, you're not going anywhere. Absolutely.
That is incredible. Jesus increases his chip stack. And I think C2 and C9 are going to stay in. They want to get Jesus, I'm sure.
Look at Brian just filling his
Yeah.
chips.
Everybody wants to touch him.
20.
Jesus is going to make it 20. He's got ace 4 of diamonds.
I hate to give you a bad beat after touching the chips.
Give me a bad beat. Don't be mad at you. I'm out
Jeff
of
makes the call.
a bad
Brian's
card.
in there.
Jesus.
Flop comes ace 4-3. Jesus has hit top pair.
Top pair. He's hit top 2.
Yeah, top 2, ace 4.
Yeah, I gotta go see him.
70.
He bet 70.
Good luck, everybody. I hope you guys hit the jackpot.
Look at this. The turn would have been an ace and the river would have been a 4.
That's hilarious.
We see that on the...
He can do no wrong. He's
Rabbit
walking on
cam.
water.
The whole table leave it.
Yep. And he's got close to probably 2,000 there in front of him.
No, I want you to sit down and play.
So Nader's moving over to seat 4.
Seat 4
He's
is
going
leading.
to go try his luck. That was Milo Michael.
Seat 4, we didn't even see him play one hand the whole time.
No, I think he limped with a suited ace once, and
Right.
that was it. So Nader's going to give it a shot in another seat. It's got to be an unlucky seat.
And I think Jesus is calling one of his Mexican poker friends over to play, which will always
And
be
say,
good.
yeah,
Yeah, for the action.
get in this game. Easy money.
When he's done, I'm with
Call
him.
second pair, make a full house.
Well, this guy is obviously not familiar with Jesus.
Fill my hand with.
Jesus is going to raise here with 10-4 offsuit.
No, I want
Okay, doesn't I make you happy? Okay, go.
This is going to be part of the video game. Like, there's going to be like a little thing where you have to beat Jesus somehow to continue your way up. Like he moves down one day to the 3 to 5. You get a little feel for him.
Okay, small and
I'm gonna tell you what, dude. I'm gonna stop paying for the little shitty hands you're dealing with.
And this guy is really angry. We're getting word, Shirley.
Yeah. Well, you don't even need to get word, Bart. Just look at his face.
And Martin went to get chips.
Especially when he was sitting across from Jesus shooting him bullets.
The
25.
pocket 8's here for Jeff. He's going to raise
Yes.
$25.
Brian just calls the ace-king suited.
Well, Jesus has 7-5 offsuit.
I'm not going anywhere.
Little pair.
So here we go. Queen 10 deuce. Pretty good flop for Brian.
Royal flush draw there.
Couple spades. $75 pot.
50.
Jeff bets 50. Kind of smells like a little bit of weakness. I wouldn't be surprised to see if Brian check raises here. She's gonna just calls.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
He
just
just
calls.
calls.
$175 pot. The turn's a 3. Brian checks.
75.
70.
Jeff bets another
Another
small
weak
amount,
bet.
$75. And Brian just calls again.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's not sniffing out that bet.
If he raised at
That's
any
weird.
time, he would win this one.
Yeah. Any jack, any spade, you lose.
And I think Brian has told him
He's
that
telling
he has.
him I need a jack or a spade.
Missed.
Yeah.
Check.
I swear to God, I had ace king spade.
Ace king.
And he shows it, but I mean, again, Jeff's got pocket 8s. If he raised any time that hand, he would have gotten Jeff off the pocket 8s. Wow.
That is one of the stupidest things I've seen. You just tell him, or you
Give the
don't
guy
need
a
to
break.
bet.
He hasn't slept
You don't
in
need
over
to bet the
96
river.
hours.
You don't have to.
If I don't hit a jack or a spade, I'm done.
Yep.
You know, you can let some of us other guys catch a pot or two.
So we got a new player coming into seat 9.
I mean, I know you're running good, but come on, man. Let's
I got a
see what
gut
else
shot royal flush draw on any spade. I can't hit nothing. I can't hit an ace, a king.
Well,
Oh, looks like we got an email from Marianne Jarvis.
your patronage is appreciated.
She wrote a poem for Jesus.
Oh, should we read that?
Well, we'll
Let me see it. Yeah, let me look at it
We
first.
also got an email from our buddy at EA Sports, Sean O'Hara. He said EA has not made a poker game yet,
And thank you for
but I'm sure they'd be up for ideas. There you go.
And then one regarding sirens.
Yep. Thomas Thuldrick
2 players.
giving us some information on sirens. We'll get back to that in a second. King 9-3 here. David against Jesus. I think that David is filling out our waiver. Or just writing his his waiver, his name down.
Just to push it, check. Push it.
Yeah, I can't get rid of this.
I only had 12 outs. I couldn't hit any of them. 12 outs twice.
And David's gonna bet.
Which is like having 24, when you think about it.
Thanks.
Jesus Mux.
Is it Ephraim?
Yeah, Ephraim.
Now, everybody here has a
Ephraim,
nickname.
new player in seat 9. Ephraim.
What's your nickname?
So Thomas Boldrick emails us and says that Ulysses strapped himself to the mast and didn't put wax in his ears so he could hear the beautiful music of the women singing. These crewmen did have wax in their ears, thus the boat didn't crash.
He's not full, though. He's Captain America.
Silence.
He's
So,
down.
yeah.
I don't know. We got going with text or something. I don't know. I got a little curl on my
Button
hand.
is in seat 6, Jesus.
I'm gonna race with this lousy hand.
Come on. What do you
And he's going to raise. He says, I'm going to raise with this lousy hand.
25.
7-5
Give
offsuit.
you action 30, I have to go away.
25.
He's telling
You
the
have any
truth.
paint?
Telling the truth.
I have a
Raises it to
bigger
$30.
not bigger than 7.
You got
Yeah,
a pair
you
of
lying?
ones? I got a pair of ones.
All right, I'll give you some action. Loose call.
And King Queen is going to call there in seat 8. Brian's in there with 8-10 of spades. We've got a $120 pot here. King Jack 6.
I think you got your sixes, huh? You get your six?
Jeff has hit top pair.
Oh, now you're going to bet like you got the six.
I think it's gotten checked around.
It's actions on me. I check.
Everybody's checked around.
Jesus.
Check.
Jesus.
5.
And Jesus checks. He does not bet this time. Just like he can smell it. The turn is a king. Now Jeff's got trip kings, and he checks again, Shirley. And it gets checked
Yeah.
around again. And the river is a 7.
I think I have to. What's in the pot? I'll bet 50.
And Jeff is going to bet 50, which is half the size of the pot.
He's slow playing that six on me, Jesus. I'm going
And Jesus, who picked up a pair here at the end. $50 bet. Let's see if he makes the call.
Raise 100, okay?
Okay.
Raise 100.
And he raises 100 and he shows the 7. He raises 100 and he shows 1-7. He's representing 7's full here.
Raise 100.
But I don't think that he can get Jeff off of the
You
king.
got pocket 7.
And he does make the call. So Jesus is trying to scare him away with the set of sevens there, Shelley.
You scared the shit out of me.
That's pretty
I
funny.
got a call. I got trip kings.
That might have worked a little bit better if he actually moved all in. But again, I still think that Jesus probably would have bet with the pair of 7s sometime on the flop and on the turn. So can't really think that he had made a set of 7s there at the end.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Again, we are here live at the bike. We stream live cash games every Monday through Friday
Bet I didn't pair that up.
from 6 to 10 Pacific time.
45.
My name's Bart Hanson. I'm here with the Poker Babe, Shirley Rosario. We're doing a $300 to $500 no limit hold'em game tonight. The blinds are 5 and 5. Brian raised here is going to take it down with ace king. Yellow chips are $5 chips. Purple chips are $25 chips. White chips are $100 chips. Blue chips are $1 chips. Jesus in seat 6 has been cleaning up the table here so far.
And Walter plays so tight. I mean, he just laid down ace jack again. So, I mean, that's a couple ace 10s and ace jacks. It's just laid down.
Oh, I would have had a hard time if you'd have moved on it. I would have had a hard time.
You had the right read.
Because you called it ahead of
You
time.
that originally, but you
You
weren't
called
sure.
it ahead of time that you had a pair, so it's kind of hard not to believe you. I mean, we've been pretty honest at this table about the hands we've had. I can't lay down trip kings. I don't care what you represent. I can't do it. Not with the queen kicker.
Limp here. Jesus is going to limp.
Okay, raise 25.
And seat 9 here is going to raise it out of the blind. Ephraim with Jack 7 offsuit. Jesus calls. David's going to call.
Give me a 5.
Three-way action. Jesus is asking for a 5.
Yep.
Queen 3 deuce. All spades. Ah, look at this. Ephraim's going to bet here. He was the
He's
raiser.
taking lessons from
Jack 7.
Jesus.
And Jesus calls with the 5 high flush draw. Now, I don't mind this call if Ephraim checks to you on the turn, you bet. Let's see. Turns at 10.
They're ready to stick all their chips in there.
English only.
Check. Check.
I don't care. English only.
River's a 6, and Jesus is good here with king high, Shirley. Check.
This looks bad.
King high is good. Look at, don't muck your hand, Jesus. He didn't muck his hand, did he? He turns it up and he takes the pot down.
Now everyone has to be looking at that a little strange.
Yeah, because Ephraim bet and Jesus called, and David in seat 7 mucked. Now David didn't actually have anything, but yeah, that is.
And then they
a little
talk
strange.
Spanish a little bit, and then
Yeah.
I have a feeling that I
check.
You don't have a feeling what?
I'm gonna bluff.
You bluffed me
But
a couple times. But
I don't know.
All you need to know about me
See,
is
this time I'm not gonna look. See, I don't.
That did look a little sketchy, but I don't think that there was any malice intended.
no, there wasn't. I mean, I could see that there wasn't. It just it looked bad.
Yeah.
No look.
I think that they're just two wild players.
I'll wait. I'll get a good hand.
Jesus raises here with ace 8 of clubs. Or excuse me, he's got 10 3 of clubs, and David calls him with ace 8, and Ephraim calls him with jack 4. So seat 9 playing any 2 cards, Shirley. Seat 9 has the best hand. Jesus checks, David checks, and Ephraim's going to bet.
Bet 40.
And Jesus quickly calls. Oh, excuse me, he's got a pair.
Oh, he has pair of threes.
Yeah. And I don't think that Jesus has looked at his cards. He's playing blind man's poker right now. David's got ace 8.
I wonder if that's what happened last time.
See, I
David
don't look.
folds.
I put 100. Sin ver, sin.
And I think Jesus is betting 100 blinds.
He is.
And look at this, the 3 comes off on the turn. Unbelievable. He's bet 100 blind, and a 3 spikes off on the turn, and Ephraim makes the call. And Jesus wants to show the cards to
it's hard
see.
not to make the call when he
And the river's a 5, and Jesus
when your
bets
opponent
200.
hasn't looked in the.
And Ephraim calls, $200 bet and a call, and Jesus takes it down with 10-3. That's. Let's see if we can get a shot of seat 4 over there too right now.
Chips, please.
Oh man. This is some great entertainment, Shirley. Great comedy.
What was it? Crispy stuff. Crispy tortillas. Crispy tortillas.
Jesus, man. He's just racking them up. Spikes trips there. Bets blind on the turn. Spikes trips.
Get him some white chip or whatever.
Brian's got ace queens. I mean, if he was getting this lucky in Wednesday night or Friday night's game, he'd be up like 15,000 right now.
No look.
No look raise.
40.
He's going to raise it, and you know what? Brian limped with ace queen. So I think he's probably going to pull the limp re-raise, unless somebody else comes over the top of Jesus. He raised blind. And he actually has jack 10 offsuit. David also has the same hand.
Oh.
I'll fold the best.
He calls. Let's see if Ephraim's going to play king 7. He rebought for 500. He makes the call. And let's see if Brian pulls the limp re-raise now. Yep, and there you go. He's going to push all in.
I love it. You are my hero.
Moves it all in.
Let's see if Jesus is going to call.
Well, if Jesus did call, he'd be in real bad shape.
God.
So, I mean, if you knew Jesus was going to raise every single time, that's actually a good play by Brian. And he got like a bunch of people to call him. It loosens up the table. There's over $100 in dead money. And I'm sure that Brian's not going to get a call. Look at Nader. He made this. Nader's going to call with 7-9 offsuit. He's got live cards. And Nader's on mega tilt. 6-3. No help here. And ace high takes it down. Ace high takes it down.
You know, Jesus would have won that pot.
Yeah, with Jack
10.
And Nader says lock it up. I think he's, this guy.
Nader, go home.
He's on mega tilt. Wow.
That's sick. Oh, he says, no, that's not. Let me get some more.
Oh, wow.
Save your $200.
He's going to do a short buy. Brian pulls the limp re-raise with ace queen with all that dead money in there. Takes down over a $500 pot.
Whenever you get out of the damn way, what'd you have?
180 is right.
And somebody just asked the table to return to some rationality. I think that's what somebody at the table said.
One shot have to be next.
Who would say that?
I don't know.
$20.
I don't know.
I guess probably that could come out of David's mouth, I guess.
I think it
Maybe
might have been.
Jeff's.
Yeah, who knows?
All in 180.
And is Nader moved all in
Who's
here?
moving all in?
Nader's moved all in with ace 8. You got a raise there by David in early position. It just happens to be that none of these guys really have much. Nader raised, David raised with 5-6 of hearts to 20. Jeff called, Ephraim called, and Nader says, I'm all in. And he has the best hand.
I'm gonna rub your head.
And this table's turning interesting now.
Yes, it is. But I think Ephraim might be crazy enough to call with king high.
Yeah, King Jack. And there you
There
go.
you
He's gonna
go.
call.
I called that one.
And Nader might blow up if he loses this hand.
Go postal.
Martin's got king queen. Martin's gonna call. Martin's
Oh my
gonna call. And we've got about $600. No, more than that. $700 in the main pot.
Is it possible to have a whole table on tilt at once?
And we've got a side pot. 700 in the main pot. And here we go with the side pot. 10-9-9. Ace 8 is good right now.
Jack.
King queen's got a gut shot.
Jack, queen, or king?
Yep. Well, no, and look, here we go. The turn's a 6 of diamonds.
Brings diamond draw for both players.
Again, no real reason to bet into a side pot. So Nader has to dodge a lot of cards.
Yes.
Any paint or any diamond. And here we go. And the river's a diamond. And Martin
wins.
He's got the queen, but there's still money to be made on the side here. Ephraim's got the jack high flush.
I just want to see Nader's face.
So let's see what happens here. 700 in the main, a dry side pot right now. I believe that Martin is in position. There's Nader. And let's see what Ephraim does. Is he going to bet in here with the diamonds? This would be just kind of a value bet. Looks like he's going to bet $110. And probably Martin can just call. He's probably just going to call here, Shirley, and he does call.
Yeah.
So
He
700
calls all
from the
in.
main.
Basically, that's how many chips he had in front of him.
Okay. So 700 from the main. And another 120 or 240 from the side total, or 220 from the side. And that's about a $900 pot that Martin wins, and I think Nader's had enough.
I hope so.
That's
I mean, for his
incredible.
sake. I'm sure the table's disappointed to see him leave.
I mean, Martin making the overcall with king queen.
Uh-huh.
Here he is. The myth, the legend, Nader.
All in.
And Ephraim moves all in here. King 10.
170.
170 with king 10.
I ought to just call you because it's you, bud.
You want to give me the $6 to call and I'll give you half of it back?
I don't think he's got a decent hand either.
I don't either. They never do.
Let me see.
Nice hand.
Show everybody.
They never do.
King 10.
He shows King 10.
Horrible.
Why are you telling the guy that's doing this that they're playing? That's a horrible play, Shirley. I don't
They're idiots.
Huh? What other pocket? Go in every time. 10.
I mean, if you're a tight player, just shut up about it, right?
Right.
Just
Well, you're any kind of player. Just shut up. If some guy's acting like a moron at the table, you let him.
we're getting
There
word
was
that,
some
we're
guy
getting
on-
word that Nader's coming back.
Yeah.
He's coming back. And Whalecock on 2+2. I don't actually know who specifically that is, but I know he's a guy that plays here at the bike a lot. He said, I've played Ephraim in Satellites, and his tell is that he slams his chips when he has nothing. So watch
Go
for
ahead,
it.
raise it. Let me guess, all in.
30.
Seat 9's going to raise here. Ace 7 of diamonds. Seat 1 calls, seat 5 calls, Jesus calls,
I like
pocket
the
8s,
I like the
seat
action,
8.
but some of the cards we play makes it kind of ridiculous.
What you got to do?
Again, well, I don't know why anyone would say that
I
at
don't
the table.
know. Well, I was going to tell you a story yesterday. I was
Five-way
playing
action.
on a game. I don't remember what game I was playing on, but some guy just berates this guy for the way he plays his hand. It was. Oh, I know it was in Omaha. I think it was on Full Tilt.
Over there.
Queen 10-4.
After this hand.
Ephraim had raised pre-flop, and now he's going to move all in. And no one has top pair here. So it would be kind of a gutsy call for Brian to call here with King 10, which is the second best hand.
I call.
And he's going to make the call. He makes the call.
55 all in, 65 ball.
155 all in, and Brian calls. Jesus has got what amounts to overcards and a gut shot. He mucks.
What will be the winning hand with
Well, you're
got a
wrong
queen?
there, Jeff.
No. Here.
So Ephraim,
Yeah,
if he doesn't get lucky here, he's going to blow through about $800 real quick.
Count it.
Diamond, diamond, or an ace.
Remember, Jesus had one of the aces.
Out of 4. Oh my God, it's my hand.
Turns a 4.
Leading right now?
Rivers a 3.
So this guy berates this guy for hitting a 2-outer. How could you play that and you make it this bet and just slams this guy?
On the chat box?
In the chat box, yeah. And so you have to be the biggest moron I've ever, seen playing. And I'm sitting there thinking, no, I think you
I
are.
won 2 in a row. Jesus.
No, why would you even criticize? So they get up and leave, you can't take their money? Or so they play better? That's about all it's going to accomplish.
Ephraim's going to rebuy for 500 behind
I
that
know
seat.
Spanish. I don't. Let's call $155 with 4.
Yeah. No, not yet. 25.
And we got a raise here, I believe, to 35. 25 by Rudy. Pocket 4s. Jesus calls it pocket 3s. Seat 9 calls. Jeff's in there. 3-way action. Excuse me, Jeff is not in there. Ace 7-8. Let's see if Rudy bets here. No, he's going to check. And now Jesus is going to bet. And look at this. Ephraim calls with Queen Jack. And now, Rudy can't call, right?
No.
He can't overcall.
3.
Jesus is calling for a 3. A 7
Yeah, you
comes
don't need
on
a
the
3. You
turn.
just need no paint up on the board.
Ephraim checks.
Check it down.
Check, check. The river's a queen. Oh, Ephraim backs into a pair. And I think he says, Tlesus. And Ephraim's got a queen. And it's good. Now, you grew up in Southern California, right?
Yes.
Are you a big Dodgers fan?
Not really.
No? You don't like baseball?
No, not much. Right, I told you I'm not really much of a sports fan. I used to like basketball back in the day. with Jordan and Barkley. Going to a baseball game every now and then and enjoying, you know, beer and hot dogs and that stuff, not even so much for the game,
Dodger dogs?
is okay, yeah. But watching it on television is just torture.
You won't mind?
Jesus is raised here to 80. 8 deuce offsuit.
Blind.
Making
I
sure.
don't know if we can get a Jesus cam shot there. He's raised to 80. And Ephraim calls with queen deuce for 80. And he's got Jesus dominated. Heads up, 8 deuce, queen deuce. Martin mocked pocket fives. Ace 10-9. Whoever bets this one's going to win.
Well, let's see if we can see some betting.
Check. Oh, check, check. Turns a 6.
Because against any other player, Jesus would not
Check.
pass on his position. He would bet his position there.
The river's an ace. And queen high is good here. And now Jesus is going to bet. And there's just no way. And Ephraim's not going to call. There's no way. And he shows it. He shows the bluff. 8 deuce. Well, I mean, even if it's his friend, Shirley, he has to bet.
He
There's no
has to
possibility
bet,
he's
yeah.
gonna win. Jesus limps. Queen deuce offsuit.
It's his hand.
That's your money. That's all?
Ephraim calls.
He looks just as mad. Maybe it's that seat 9. Pisses everybody off.
Limped around here. King 9-10.
Check my diamond.
Check it. Check my
All diamonds. Martin's got the nut diamond draw on seat 2, plus a pair. Ace 9.
I like the
And he bets. Walter's out of
See if
there.
Ephraim calls with the deuce of diamonds. Nope.
Normally you'd never get me off this hand with all those diamonds out there. It's kind of hard to get happy.
Oh, wait a minute. Seat 8. Jeff, he said normally you wouldn't get me off this hand. He's got an open-ended straight draw, but there we go. So we get word that Jesus actually has a $1,000 chip on
Yes.
the table.
He changed up some of those chips he had won.
He's got 2,300 in front of him, Shirley.
I'm open-ended on a straight draw, but I
Probably more like 2,500.
normally you never get rid of me on that.
Is this a donk fest, Shirley, tonight?
Yeah, I would say so.
Pocket kings for Brian in seat 5. Let's see if he plays it slow and he limps and lets Jesus raise here again. Yep, he's made the limp. Oh boy, Jesus has got queen jack. He limps. And the one in seat 8's got pocket 9s and he limps. And now Ephraim raises to 20 with 9 deuce. And he's going to get a couple callers. And let's see if Brian makes the limp re-raise here with the kings. And he is.
100 on top.
Okay.
And he's going to raise it. He says
120
100
total.
on top, 120 to go, 100 more. And Jesus quickly calls with Queen Jack.
1 and 20.
And let's see what Jeff does with pocket 9s.
That's easy.
He's got a lot in front of him, Shirley.
Mm-hmm.
What is mine?
You put it in.
I mean, even if you think the guy has aces or kings, could you call here or try to hit a set? Make about 10 times your money. Maybe if he's got $900 or $1,000, can he make this call?
Well, then just go all in. You got a lot of money. You got the best hand.
This
I have
no
a very
Walter.
vulnerable hand.
He's got 1,100 in front of him, and I think he might be thinking about whether I could
He's
call,
wondering if
fold,
you
or
have the best
re-raise.
hand, yeah.
And he folds.
I'll wait till I
And
have
Ephraim calls with deuce 9. Martin's got a weak ace over there.
Oh, my.
What do I care? I mean,
This is amazing.
It's almost worth it. Just for the
And he's going to muck. And we got three-way action.
What's it?
Shirley, it's about a $350 pot. Here we go. Uh-oh, Jesus could get into big trouble here.
Too bad he didn't have his queen deuce hand.
And he moves, and look at this, Brian moves all in. He moves all in. Jesus has him covered. Brian's moved all in with the overpair.
It's a lot.
And
I hope we get to see the turn in the
1,
river on
2,
this.
3, 4,
At
5.
least rabbit
We're talking
count it.
about a $1,500 all in here.
14.
It's actually about $1,600. So the pot now is about $2,000, $1,600 for Jesus to call.
15-20.
And Jesus has top pair.
Oh, my God.
Man, he's going to make the call. Oh, wow. And look at this. Ephraim makes the call with deuce nines. And Brian's, he has to dodge a lot of cards. He needs to dodge a queen, a jack, or a deuce.
Mine too.
Oh, wow. And the turn's a queen. Oh, wow. The turn's a queen.
God.
The turn's a queen and the river's a 9.
If Jesus didn't get him, Ephraim was getting him.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Oh my God.
that's unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
And Brian Ice goes broke. He's been here for 4 days and he goes broke. Time to take a shower. He's gone broke. Oh, man. $1,600. They're on the turn.
I would stick clear.
Oh, wow. And like you said, Ephraim made 2 pair
Ephraim
at
was
the end.
yeah, if that queen
Yep.
didn't come, Ephraim was taking him down.
That's unbelievable.
The worst part is she sat down with the most chips of anybody said.
Oh, wow.
She sat down with 1,500. Everybody else sat down with 300.
I sat down with 3. I sat down with 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Let me see.
Oh, we hear Kenna's in the house.
All been mine.
Kenna James.
I can't call.
Oh, that's too much fun if we could get Kenna into this game.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
We should just pull him in here.
That happened to me last time at the $1,000 Live at the Bike. I had pocket 10s. I laid them down to pocket aces when he bet pre-flop.
Yeah, we could have Kenna play over Brian in seat 5. I don't know if Brian's...
Kenna!
There he
I
is.
couldn't call. I put him on aces.
I don't know if this game is too small for him or what. It's just a 3 to 5.
Todo el billete que tenga mi apellido ahí.
So Kenna James might be coming into the game.
De mi apellido y del apellido ahí.
So how much did
This
Jesus
is
win on that hand?
crazy.
How much did Jesus win
Well,
on
we
that
know
hand?
what he had
I mean,
before, right? We knew his chip count before, and we'll have to
Well, the
have to
other
figure
guy-
out after.
he won $3,600 when his money's in there. Then Ephraim puts it's like a $4,000 pot. That's insanity. Wow.
Yeah, he won 1,600 off of Brian, and then another like $400 off his friend.
Incredible stuff.
Look at all those chips. He still has his $1,000 chip in there.
Yeah.
He just loans his friend $500, and then he has all those whites. His friend's losing
Right.
losing money as fast as Jesus is making it.
Absolutely
Oh, man.
incredible. And Ephraim has raised here with 9-6 off suit. And this is just some incredible
This is crazy.
stuff. 4-way action. King, 9-6. And look at this. Ephraim's flopped 2 pair, and Nader's got top pair. And he's
Nader's
going to
going
bet.
down.
55.
Ephraim's going to bet 55 here. The action is just nonstop. Let's see if Nader makes them. He's going to check raise them all in. And if Ephraim doesn't get unlucky, he's got him with the 2 pair.
Okay.
And this is going to be
Okay.
another $500 pot. And he makes the call.
Makes the call.
He makes the call.
They're like, what is going on? No king, no 10. Nader's going to flip.
Turns the jack. He's just going to
now he
dodge
has a
those
queen.
cards. And the river's an 8, and 9s and 6s are going to take it down. Let's see. Let's see what Nader looks at this.
2 pairs.
It looks like he kept his composure there this time. Wow.
What?
Unbelievable.
I think he's numb. He even has to laugh about it.
Yeah, that's incredible stuff. Got about an hour left in the show, folks.
Just ask Jesus over there.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, you know, I have not seen Kenna since he came in second in that Legends event. Yeah.
He's got 1,000 under. He's got another.
He
So
came
this
in.
is a pleasant
He
surprise.
came and he played that night, and he got that was the the time that he was against Barry Woods.
Right.
Put 3 on the rack.
300 right here.
This is incredible. Where's all those chips from?
Those are Jesus. She's got to
Oh, wow.
color them up. He can't see over the rack.
Okay, the blind.
Wow. This is incredible stuff. If ever a night for a video game, right? Build your bankroll up. Just get set down in 3 to 5.
So these different mistakes.
And you know Walter's frustrated. He's like, I'm just waiting for aces or kings.
Yeah.
Getting all my money in there.
Seat 9 is... Jesus is... I think we get a raise here by Ephraim. Martin calls. Jesus calls. We can't see what Martin has. Jack 10 deuce.
Yeah, it's rubbing off. He has 9-5.
9-5 of clubs. Ephraim was the raiser. And it gets checked around. Turns a 9. Now Martin has a pair. Ephraim's open-ended, though.
Yes, he is.
And it just gets checked around
Jesus
again.
is John
And
Dick.
Jesus calls for a 6, and he hits a 6, but it's no good. Calls for it. And the 9 there is good. Jesus has 4,500.
Ya lo he limpiado 2 veces aquel y vuelve a crecer.
Mucho habla,
4,500.
Mucho hablar,
Dang.
mucho hablar. No.
Seems like some of the people on 2+2 knew that Kenna was coming here before,
Before we
did.
did,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's what they said. Yeah. See if we can get Walter out of the game.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Kick Walter off.
Yeah.
Wait for him. No, we don't. I don't do that. I don't accept.
What do you mean?
I don't want it. That's what I don't want.
Well, again, I guess there's an objection by seat 4, but the thing is, Shirley,
Because
is that-
he wants a seat change, but you can't have a seat change if a player is technically coming back.
right.
And Kenna is only playing over Brian
Then
while
he
Brian's
can't-
gone.
Yeah, then he doesn't have a seat change. Plus, it's our table, and we can do whatever we want to do.
Yeah,
too.
we want Kenna.
Yeah, yeah.
We say put Kenna in.
This is not.
This
This
is
table
not
is by
Nader's
different
game.
rules. Yeah.
No, he has to come, but that's his seat.
No, he's just going to play until he comes back.
No, I don't let this happen. Call your supervisor. I say I cannot let this
No,
happen.
no. He can.
I want to move here. If it's sit change, I want to move here.
You gotta wait. He can lock it up for 15, 20 minutes.
No, he's coming back.
Hey,
I
while we're
want
doing
him
this,
come
let's
back.
play the
And
game.
again,
I want him come back.
He can lock it up for 15, 20 minutes.
I don't know
Sure, but
exactly
he
what is
wants
going
to.
on here.
Let him play.
Okay, I changed city. He can play here.
And Nader, I think Nader's objecting
just
to
doesn't
Kenny
get it.
sitting down at
Well,
the
he's
table.
sitting. He's objecting because he wants that seat. I mean, seat 9 hasn't been lucky for him. Seat 4 hasn't been lucky for him. So let's try my idiocy in seat 5 and see if I can get lucky in seat 5.
I don't have 70 to you. But he wants to sit where you are. You guys want to switch? Okay. You want
The only thing is, I think
to? No, him.
I want to sit here.
Okay, see you, buddy.
You know, I want you to stay here because that's the
Hey,
only
while
way
we're
I'm going to
doing
be able
this,
to check.
we get a raise here by seat 2.
Sit here. You can sit here.
Again, we cannot see seat 2's
That's
cards.
what I want.
This guy's got a real problem.
Okay.
He's got aces, and he's made a re-raise here. He's up against Rudy and Ephraim, Jack 4 and Jack 8.
What happened to Rudy?
You can't.
10,
He's been
5,
playing straight
3.
up poker.
Can't.
Overpair here for Martin.
You got to sit there and paint.
And Rudy's going to bet here. He's going to bet 200.
It's all rubbing off on
And
him.
look at this. $200 call, just a call there by Martin with the overpair.
Very lucky. I called him a couple of times.
And we've got another pot that's about $700. Rudy bets with Jack 8.
Yeah, Rudy's
and Martin
got to
just
tighten
calls.
up now, especially now that he has a straight draw.
He's
Hopefully
picked up
he's
a
just
draw.
gonna check and
He's picked up a draw.
Straw. That sounds like something I would
He had the best hand, though. He got sucked out on it.
But
and
pot's about
Martin hasn't
$600
really gotten out of line, so
or $700.
Nope, he's not
And he's
going
going to
down.
move all in. $900. He moves all in for $300.
Trust me, he would have called me.
$930 here.
Yeah.
$930 pot, 330 to call. Look at Martin. He thinks he's beat.
Well, considering Rudy's played straightforward, I mean, it's not an easy call.
He thinks he's beat. $930 in the pot, 330 to call.
Days since I played some cards, I've been playing so much golf. It's hard to recognize.
I don't see him folding it here.
Well, he's having a real difficult time here. Rudy's made a big semi-bluff on the turn. He bet the flop, and now he's moved all in here on the turn.
Give the aces to Jesus. He'll call. Dang, he'll call with pair threes.
Ice plant.
It goes off the fairway. It's long.
Oh, dude, I used to find 20 balls every time I went looking for my own ball.
Same thing that we would do for you. Make sure
No, you don't understand. I say I wanted to take a seat. He's coming back?
He's coming back.
All right, finally, I think we're going to get Ken.
We get him to understand.
And Aces is going to call here, and here we go. We've got a $1,200 pot. Rudy's going to have to catch a straight.
A 7 or a queen.
Yep, Martin needs to dodge those cards. Another big hand here coming off.
Because it was unfair.
And let's see the river. The river's a 10, and Martin's going to take it down there with aces up.
Oh, you're talking about the Babe or the Ike, right? You're talking about the
Both. But the Ike was, those par 5s, several of which are on.
You got it, dude. You got it.
And let's see. And there you go. Boy, Martin has won a lot tonight, too. He was almost down to nothing.
Yes, he was down to nothing. He had jacks and queens hold up, and now look at him.
Yeah.
Do you have to watch what's going on to know what know a little bit about the game?
No, you just have kind of days and then have somebody.
When everybody's not arguing at the table when we're playing, usually you can pay attention.
The Rudy's doing a rebuy. Walter's still sitting there playing no hand. You know, I mean, that's fine. You want to fold ace jack and ace 10, but now is the time to be playing them. If all these players are going to shove all their chips in there, shove them all in with ace jack.
It looks like there's soap in it.
And here we go.
I hope that it holds up.
Kenna, Jesus, this is going to be great.
Now we got a lineup.
Normally the food and the drink is good here, but this looks like they got soap in there.
You only have to post 5.
You don't like soap?
That's actually good. I only have to post 5?
Pocket kings for Ephraim in seat 9, and here we go. He's going to raise. And there's chips all over the table.
Yeah,
the cards are all
way.
over the place. Rudy's trying to rebuy in seat 9. Pocket kings here under the gun.
Oh, after you lose, you can buy in more?
Fold.
No, 5 is the most you can buy. 30?
$30 raise here.
Oh, I got to show this, right?
Kenna's got ace 4, ace 2. Oh, he's not going to play. Jesus has got queen 3, and he's going to make the call. And Jesus, he's got about $5,000. And Ephraim's got an overpair.
Every time one of you raises the other, if somebody calls raises,
You don't play much.
seriously.
And I think Jeff is having a problem. He thinks that they're colluding somehow. That Ephraim and
every time one of you calls, the other one either raises or calls. Can you find that a little suspicious?
well, luckily for Jeff, we can see the cards.
Right.
So nothing really has been going on that's been suspicious.
And they split the
Yeah, that would be good, Donna. You could tell him that.
Every time. I'd like to see what you're playing.
Ace, king, 10 here on the flop.
You can tell me that. Yeah.
Well, we can see the cards, Jeff. A bet and a call here. Jesus has got a straight draw, and Ephraim's got a set of kings. And here we go to the turn. Turn is a 7.
All of a sudden I got ringing in
I
my
gotta
ear.
tell you, this is
And
very
Ephraim's going to bet. He's going to bet 300 when Jeff shows. And now Jesus shows the queen 3.
Now
this is
Ephraim should show. There you go.
He shows 3
See? No,
kings.
nothing's crazy, okay?
10,000 now. That's
And now Jesus is challenging Jeff to a heads-up match on another table. $10,000 buy-in.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's just wildness here at Live at the Bike.
You know, you see that so much online. Like in live casinos, when you get pissed, let's take it outside. You know, they want to go kick each other's ass. Online, it's always, you know, you get pissed and then you say, I'll play you heads up.
Again, I don't understand. I mean, Jeff, I understand you might think that it would be fishy. We can see everything here. We can see the cards.
Well, and plus we know the fact that Jesus will call with any two
Right.
cards.
I mean, you can't be at a safer table, right? Than the live at the bike table.
You're only playing bullshit if you lose.
I'm losing in that there was a couple of hands that I would have been aware, but I look it up because he raised, he goes all in, and I call.
Yeah, no, that's moaning.
No, the other guy raised.
This guy went on in. I call him and he called.
You can't moan. It's over with. You can't moan unless you're losing.
And we got the button here.
That's the rule.
At least Helmut only whines when he loses.
You cannot moan unless you're losing.
That's that's a good way to get people to shut up.
Winning, I don't care. Let them play.
$25 more.
Just the principle.
I mean, why would Jeff want to ruin an action table? It just doesn't make any sense. To me.
Right.
I have a suspicion, and I think it's confirmed.
A suspicion? We can see the cards, sir. I don't.
He can't hear you, Bart.
What's a suspicion?
I think they would do it in a more inconspicuous spot than Wow. I think you.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go over to the bike and cheat him. Let's play in that game. It's on the internet.
Yeah.
And I think people are trying to explain to Jeff. Yeah.
100,000 people watching every hand right now.
$25 raise here.
You're right. You're right.
I always take his money.
3 or 4-way action. 3, 5, 6.
You know what? You're right. I'm wrong.
Did you win all that money?
Señor. Señor Chacachuca.
I got a king over here. This guy went on in.
Turn. I think it got checked around here. The turn is an 8.
So while you don't speak Spanish, you can do whatever you want. You can do it. If you are partner.
You're up 4,000.
Just know Spanish. That's all.
Yeah, he's on fire.
Got a bet here by Rudy. Top pair, queen high flush draw.
Where'd all G's chips go? Didn't he have more yellow than that?
Well, they've been all changed to whites and greens.
Well, I know, but I thought he left himself two racks of yellow.
Shut up and play. Make some noise.
He's only going for 2 hours.
15 minutes time.
Everybody folds. Rudy takes it down. Boy, Rudy went crazy with that hand with the Jack 8 too. Remember when all that
he
motion
did.
was going
You know,
on?
his straightforward poker was doing well for him. You know.
Right.
When the people are going all crazy like that, it's hard to not get caught up in the action. But that's when you really should just wait for the good hands and hope they hold up. You know, get your money in there and pray. Cross your fingers.
Queen, Jack, Ace, King for seat 5. That's Kenna, right? Yeah.
2 hours you haven't played a hand?
And Walter saying in 2 hours I haven't played a hand. It's true.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry about that.
Kenna's going to raise.
When I leave, it's going to be just like when I was here. Action Taylor.
Makes it 25. Seat 8 calls with 8-9 of spades on the button. And Ephraim's going to raise with Queen Jack. Makes it 60 more.
See, but I don't argue. I do. Absolutely we are. Absolutely. You got it. You found me out. How did you know? So quick, too. Every time I raise, he re-raises.
Rudy's going to mug. Let's see what Kenna does here with the Ace King. It's over to Martin. Ace Rag.
No, seriously, it's really bad. It's bad to talk about it, especially in this.
If you want to come to the table and after 5 minutes make a determination that what's going on, that's fine. But you really should keep
And now Jeff is giving
I'm gonna
Kenna
have
crap.
Yeah.
Because Kenna's telling Jeff pretty much to just stop it. And
I know for sure.
You do?
Yeah,
Okay, well, they got it on camera right there.
I
Well,
know
how much
for
you want to
sure.
bet? How much you want to bet? I've been here for 5 minutes. I'll bet you $5,000 whip out right now. 5,000 whip out. I've been here for 5 minutes. We'll go back and look at the
I
tape.
learned a long time ago. I learned a long time now not to engage with an idiot. Yes.
5,000. How can I be an idiot? I'm calling you on what your statement. I'm calling you on what your statement is.
this is incredible stuff,
How much
Shirley.
you want to
I'll
bet?
tell you what. I'll give you my.
You are
to just
so
shut your
far.
mouth.
You are so far out of line. It's ridiculous.
And now Kenna is telling him that
Kenna's
he's out of line.
Kenna's taking a stand. You're
Yeah,
so
yeah.
far out of line. And you know what I don't get? If you have these, he's wrong in his assumptions.
Yeah.
But if he had those assumptions, Why stay in a game
Right.
that you think is cricket?
Right, right.
Get your chips and get out.
You should
Right.
put up your money. Or if you don't want to put up money, then you should just shut up.
You can find an idiot to do anything.
You know what? You know what? You need to stop. Or we're gonna.
Okay, he has to leave. He has to leave.
I know.
He has to live
I
down.
mean, I don't even understand why we're standing for him still being on the table, you know?
You see in the old days, you accuse somebody of cheating, you'd get shot.
And I think we actually are going to move
I mean,
him.
it's a serious
Yeah.
act. You do that unless you have
Especially when you
proof.
accuse like two of the wildest players in the game.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's,
And even Walter's coming
I
to his
know.
aid, you know?
See? He speaks English. American white guy.
I mean, why would you want to kill the action that Jesus and Ephraim are bringing to the table? It just doesn't make any
You cannot
sense.
say one amigo win for a couple of $1,000. Ching them Foot toast.
Hey, this is another great time when you can catch this show and every other show that
This has
we've
got to
ever
be one of our best
done
shows ever.
by catching the archives. Just click on the archive banner at liveatthebike.com, upper left-hand corner of your screen. $14.95 a month gets you all of the action.
And in 2 days, you can watch this again
Right.
and again and again.
I'm sure Jeff will be a new subscriber.
35. Yeah. Someone needs to buy him that for a Christmas present.
Yeah, absolutely.
I call, I don't. I think.
We got a raise here.
35, man.
There you go.
35.
Getting action.
35.
Action.
And everyone's going to call, looks like. Four-way action.
No habla español.
Chinese only.
Ace 10-8.
Oh,
Cup noodles!
Nader's hit top
And
pair.
I think did he move all in?
That's the only thing
Possibly.
I know in Chinese.
I say
No, I know
ching
I think he might have checked.
Means little brother.
what do the cards look like in China?
They look the same.
And now, David's going to bet with the gut shot. Actually, he's got a double gutter there, Shirley. Queen Jack, Ace 10-8. Ephraim's got second pair.
Did everybody know the White Sox win?
They were winning the way I left.
And he's going to raise it up with second pair. And now, is there any way that he might get Nader off of this hand? And Nader, against a bet from a tight player and a raise, mucks the weak ace. And Ephraim, with the raise, gets him off the hand. And look at this. And David's going to go in for the rest of his money. He's got a double gutter with overcards. He's actually favored with 2 cards to get against Ephraim's hand right here. Double gutter with overcards. He needs any paint or a 9.
Who's got the kick?
And
9.
there's the 9, and he makes the straight. And there you go. Queen Jack is going to take it down. And David lives for another hand.
what he does?
Come on, don't bite it in half. Huh? Don't bite your tongue in half.
I figured I had 8 outs.
Yeah, he called. He said he figured he had 8 outs, when in reality, the Jack of the Queen was good too.
Yeah. And Nader got, raised off the best hand.
Oh, you would have lost.
Caballo, y allá hay 8, 9, 10 cadenas.
Button moves over to seat 1.
Okay.
So everyone at the table's like, don't let the door hit you in the house on your way out.
Floor lady.
Right.
I'm taking the seat over
And
there.
now Nader's going to move over to seat 8.
Oh, yeah,
now.
because that one's luckier.
Yeah. And again, I mean, we don't mean to go after anyone personally, but I mean, if Jeff comes and watches this, I mean, is there any more of a safer cash game than Live at the Bike
I would
when we're
think
doing
not, right.
commentary on the show,
Right.
and we see all the cards?
Right.
I'm not trying to engage you.
Well, you keep doing a pretty damn good job.
I'm really not trying to engage you.
So then the best thing would be
35.
And they're still going at it, Kenna and the guy in seat 8. We got a raise
Nobody's
here,
saying anything, and then you just open your mouth again and said, I'm not going to sit here in between two people.
and now
You're the one
Walter.
that said something out of the blue. You said, I'm not going to sit here between 2 people. They told you not to say it before. You're so ridiculously out of line.
All right, I'm out of line.
And then
Pocket
you get
Jack's
somebody
here.
upset where they comment about it, you tell him to shut
35.
up. You're the one that started it. Again.
All right, sit here and lose your money, sucker.
And he's still sitting there.
Keep losing, sucker. One point every minute.
Ephraim's got
Get out of
Pocket
here.
Jack.
Whatever you say, though. Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Pocket Jacks.
The only thing about
Objection,
him
he
leaving the
played.
game 10 was he was such a good player. I know, of course. I'm saying the only reason I went down.
Oh my God.
Ephraim's got pocket jacks. He's got an overpair. Is Martin going to get involved here with Queen 9? Ephraim has been raising with any two cards. He raised pre-flop.
I mean, he had all his chips in there with, you know,
And Martin
lower
makes a pretty
pair.
good laydown.
He makes a laydown, yeah.
Good laydown.
I think my chips would have got in there.
Yeah.
Dude, just turn around. Let him go. Let him go.
Wow.
I'm gonna switch tables.
So Kenna doesn't just help us in the booth and play in the
Right.
game, right? He
Right,
sticks
right.
up for us.
Right.
Tells the players when they're out of line.
You straddling me? You
Oh,
can't straddle
oh.
us from the big blind.
Yeah, I'll straddle.
And
Not from the big blind.
I'm not in the
look at that. Look at Martin.
Oh, this is too much fun.
No, turn down. Oh, blind? I can't straddle. I can't straddle. Oh, you can blind raise it.
Sure, you can blind raise it. That's what he was doing.
Okay, that's
Again, I think Jeff was like, Jeff was calling people suckers when he's leaving the table.
Blind raise?
You know what? I'm gonna get my cards and I'll call you blind. How about that? Okay?
And wow, Martin, he's got a lot of chips over there in C2. Jesus is going to raise blind. He's got Doyle Brunson, 10 deuce offsuit.
Wonderful, crappy cards. Hey, Kenna, what's the name of that book that Ron Rose did?
105.
Poker aces.
Poker aces.
I bet you 5,000.
Yeah, we have a few copies here. I have one in front of me.
Right here.
Here we go. But Isaac's not going to show it.
There we go.
Oh.
Well, that's going to make the highlight reel.
What he took.
Sorry. Oh, no, it was to your back. You're okay.
Okay, so he called, so I
That
got
was some serious. Oh, my goodness.
Get a blind raise here by Jesus and a call by seat 9.
Yeah, let's just go over what's being said at the
King
table.
10.
Okay.
And Kenna's going to come in. Kenna's got 9-3 suited. He's going to make the
I'm going
call.
to look at one. I'm going to look at this one right
Oh, he's going to look at one, so he has 6 cards to count.
And he's got a pair.
Check.
But Jesus has top pair.
I check.
And Ephraim has got King 10. Jesus is going to bet.
He's only looked at one. I wonder which one he's looked at.
200.
God, give me a
Jesus
pair.
bets 200. Seat 9 calls.
Oh, my God. I don't think anybody's looked at their cards yet.
I was such a pussy.
I'm on.
And Kenna's going to move all in. And Jesus shoves the rest of his money all in. Then seat 9's all in.
Kenna doesn't know.
Wow.
They'll all call.
Oh, wow. Well, the only thing is that they don't really have anywhere near Jesus covered, but it's still about a $1,500
And they all
pot.
turn their hands up.
Turn is an 8,
Come on, 9 or 3.
but a
I was rooting for
$1,500
Jesus, but now
pot.
we got to root for Kenna. 9.
And the river is an 8, and it looks like King 10 is going to be good there.
Oh, wait. Count his money, though. There might be a small side pot.
And again, Jesus, I mean, he shoved all his money in there. Luckily, you know, the guy in seat 9 doesn't have that much. But Ephraim takes down about a $1,500 pot there.
But he has more money.
You got me to put all my money in at 9.
He's got him covered. He's got him covered.
And I called you blind with 9.
You want 5-9?
He's the only one with a hand.
5-9. 5-9.
5?
6 whites, you get 10 back. 6 whites, and you get 10 back.
Wow.
That's crazy.
100, I would have called. 200, no. Unless they're both blind.
Well, that's not fair. We didn't look at our cards, and you looked.
Well, that's your fault.
You're right.
I gotta be
Oh,
honest.
man.
That's my fault. First time call you.
Now I can only buy in
Jack
500
7, I should call.
You can buy it 3.
That's probably what I should do.
Jack 7.
Again,
They're going crazy.
You're gonna play like that. I think you should buy
if you were thinking of a perfect Christmas gift for that poker player in your life, give the gift that keeps on giving, a monthly subscription to Live at the Bike. Just write to us at www.liveatthebike.com and we'll contact you to set up a month subscription for that lucky someone. And again, this show in itself is worth the $14.95.
Most people wouldn't have thought that was a good hand.
You're blind.
Unbelievable. The guy's got me all
Pocket
shaken up.
kings for Kenna.
Oh, look
See
how
how much-
sweet. Nader's helping him stack his chips. He must not be too.
I should have just got white
Ooh.
chips because these are probably going to go.
That's for Kenna.
Yeah, kings for Kenna, and I think he
What?
bought in for 500.
You call what?
$5.
$5.
That's $5.
Is he? No, you're right. It's
Oh, yeah, I'm helping him.
Seat 8's got
No, it's called
Seat 8's got pocket threes.
C9 throwing a nickel.
Seat 9, he's gonna call blind. Call blind. We can't see what he has yet. And let's see what Kenna does.
He hasn't even seen what he's had.
No shot
Again, Martin in seat 2, we can't see what he has. And there's the kings.
Go, Kenna, go.
Kings.
All right, on this card alone, I'm raising.
Well, he did look at both cards.
Did he look at
yeah.
both?
$75.
He makes it 75.
Are you sure he looked
On
at
this
both?
card alone, I'm raising.
And Jesus calls.
I haven't even looked
He
at
picked
this.
them both up.
Now, you guys only got 3 cards. I've got 4.
And look at this
See,
pocket.
there he goes again.
Pocket
You have 3
threes
cards
is
on the
gonna
flop.
call.
I get
Call
4.
1, 2.
And look at this.
I don't know
Seat
which
number
one.
9's going to call with 6-10.
10.
Rudy's got ace-4. He's going to call.
Now you guys are going to make me want to call.
And we don't even know what seat 2 has.
He has queen 8.
I don't know
And he
which one I
mucks.
looked at.
Call it quits.
5-way action, $75 pot. So that's 425 to the flop. Oh, and
yeah,
Kenna's
that's
got a set of
That's
kings.
got to be me. I'm all in.
And Kenna moves all in.
That's got to be me.
He moves all in.
That's got to be me. You have one? You have a pair?
Well, maybe he didn't look at both because he might have played this one differently.
Well, he said I have 4 cards to come, like he always says. He had 4 cards to see
I've
on the
got
flop.
4 cards, and you only have, you know everything.
See,
I got
there
a
he goes.
mystery card. Swear to God, I've only looked at one. I've got a mystery card.
And I think the action's over to Nader.
And there's no way in hell they're going to
gonna
believe
tell
that
you,
he
I do
has
have a pair.
that he hasn't looked at both cards.
If you don't have a pair,
Nader's
of
got
three
pocket
anymore,
threes. And he's going to make the call. And he's drawing to a running quads.
I know, I do have a pair.
Pair deuce or pair four?
I think if he caught 3 3,
Rudy's
you might
got-
get your best bargasm ever.
Rudy's got bottom pair.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he's going to
By the
muck.
way, this is the one I looked at.
He does, so maybe he doesn't know, Shirley. I could have sworn he looked at both
You
ones.
guys are he's all in.
Well, he's not flipping his.
Turn
so
is a 10,
If he flips his, I'll
That's
flip
good.
yours.
That's good.
and the river's a
That's good. Don't
6.
for it. You don't have
Let's see what it is. Ow! You guys aren't going to believe it.
You liar.
Oh, no.
Swear to God. I swear to God. Unbelievable. Are you kidding me? They're never going to believe it. They're never going to
I believe you. I believe you.
Never.
I believe you.
They're never going to believe it. Get those guys out here and tell them I never. They know. They see the camera. Run the tape. I'll bet anybody 5,000 that I didn't look at. I'll bet 10,000. Any amount you want to put on the table, they've got cameras all over that I only looked at.
All right,
one
yeah,
time.
okay.
Anybody?
Well, unfortunately, we didn't actually get, if there was someone were to make a big bet, we didn't have the proper angle because we were looking up.
Right. We couldn't
So,
see if he
right.
only looked at one. I thought he only looked at one.
No.
Well, the thing was, the reason why I thought he looked at 2 is because he lifted both cards up. But the way that he played the hand,
Right.
I don't necessarily know if he would have moved all in. I mean, maybe the pot was big enough. Actually, you know what though? That actually is the right move. This is forgetting that this is restricted buy-in.
Well, I mean, the players are calling with
It's
any kind of
425.
pair.
He only has 375 left. He should move all in.
I look at one king.
When he moved in earlier, and he got Jesus to move all in over the top of him with a pair of 10s deuce kicker.
Yeah.
So, you know, you flop a set, you just stick your chips in there, I think.
35. 30 more.
And look at this. John's got pocket kings, new player in seat 4. He raised it to 30.
Oh, man.
And we got a couple callers, more callers.
Here's the real reason you know I didn't look. If I would have flopped top set, I wouldn't have moved in. Right?
Poor Walter's been
5-way
sitting
action.
there all night to have those kings dealt to him, and then
150.
it goes to seat 4.
And that's what Kenna just said. He said that if I had known that, I wouldn't have moved in, even though I still think it's the right move in this game. Queen 10-3 here. And John's going to bet 100 with the overpair. Pot's about 150.
And Nader has an open end. Oh, Jesus has top pair,
And
yeah.
Jesus calls. And Nader moves, check raises all in. Rudy's got ace 10.
And John probably has no clue what he's in for.
Yeah. And now, well, let's see if John's going to push the rest in. And now, Jesus might call here with the Queen 8. Let's see. I think it's another.
He has top pair. Sure, he's going to call.
That's 400. He's all in.
Oh, he's going to move all in. And look at, he turns it over. Oh, actually, you know what? Nader he rebought for 500, so he's actually pushing in a lot.
It's another, I think it's another like 300 and something.
And Jesus mucks the top pair. Mucks the top pair. And Nader's got a draw.
A queen because the 8 would have given Nader the straight.
Queen and 8. Two of them are both dead. The turn is a 4.
I got his hand, you got his hand. You want to do it?
He's a king or an 8 here. Oh, it's a king, and Nader sucks out. And John makes a set of kings on the river. And the river conspires against him.
Welcome to the game, John.
Look at it.
So he needed a king or an 8. We knew 1 8 was gone because Jesus had it, and 2 kings were gone, so 3 of the 8 outs were gone.
Cocktails.
Wow. See if John rebuys.
Cocktails. Anybody want a cocktail?
Good, I'm ready. I'm waiting. I said we all do a little table shot.
I would like to.
Habla español.
Try not to drink.
Man, I would love to be in this game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think I don't know.
Well, at least you wouldn't take heavy swing. I mean, you'd go Vian 500.
Oh, no, I would. I'm sure I would. How can you not? I mean, you get your, what did Jesus win with? That Queen Jack against Brian's Kings?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're going to lose. Your best hands aren't going to always hold up. So you lose a buy-in, you rebuy, and
Everybody's money and go home. They don't know.
Rudy limps in here with pocket jacks under the gun.
and if I get my chips up to 2,000 and I think I have the best hand against Jesus, I'm sticking them all in there and I could go bust then,
25.
Well, Ken is going to raise it up to 25, and I have a feeling that we're going to see a limp re-raise here by
Seat 1.
by Rudy, yeah.
Right.
With the jack.
25. Tempted, but no.
Because Jesus calls.
All I wanted was a little action. That's all I wanted.
Speaking of weight,
And let's see what he does.
All the way, but I finally wanted it.
I love that when people tell me that.
You know what? I was
He's going to raise.
I'm going to raise till I saw that.
He's going to mini raise, Shirley. I don't know if that's the right play with pocket jacks. And look at this. John calls the limp re-raise with King 5 and Seat 4. He only made it 25 more, I think.
25 more? Who made it 25 more?
With jacks?
Yeah.
That's a mini
You know what?
re-raise.
This is like throwing money into a pig trough. That's it. And then
Kenna
trying to
calls
find
and
it.
Jesus calls.
That's like throwing a penny.
And we've got $200 into the pot.
I'm afraid of this hand.
trying to find
I'm afraid of this hand.
Here we go.
Yeah, with your king.
I just want a little action. That's all I
Well,
wanted.
8, 6, 5, couple hearts.
That's Jesus. He's
Yeah,
all
look
over
at that. He's got bottom 2 pair. Kenna's got top pair and Rudy's got the over pair. And Jesus is going to bet. Jesus bets and Rudy moves all in.
3 1/4.
Yeah, is it aces or kings?
A bet here and Rudy moves all in. Kenna's got
So
top pair.
Kenna is putting Rudy on an overpair, which is a good read. I mean, he says aces or kings, but
You deserve a bad beat.
Little does he know that Jesus, if he makes the call, Jesus can come back over the top of him.
65 all in.
He's over.
Come on, show some stones, baby.
Oh, Kenna's going to muck it. And Jesus is definitely going to call with bottom 2, right?
oh yeah.
Oh, I have 2 pairs. Look.
And he calls.
I call.
And that's a. And here we go.
300.
It's going to have to dodge the board pairing. It's not a 5 or 6. Rudy also has backdoor hearts. So here we go. The turn's a king, so Jesus needs to dodge a king or an 8 here. And the river is a deuce. And Jesus takes it down. Wow. King or an 8 or a jack, of
Right.
course. Yeah.
Here's Terminator.
All goes that way. He really is.
Now I see what he was talking about.
It's not the Terminator. They have back in 9.
He doesn't understand Kenna's sense of humor.
Oh, Kings. And I told him with that because on the flop it was king.
Queen high.
Queen High. Jesus telling him about the beat that he gave
Yeah.
Brian in seat 5.
You made it straight?
Yeah.
No. Queen jack.
No,
makes
three
him queen.
kings.
Do you speak English?
high.
Habla español. Tengo uno
Queen high. You
mamacita.
problem with queen jack.
Aquí
The guy moved in
mamacita,
with king.
otro mamacita.
Let me go ask that guy what happened. Let me go ask.
Oh, you don't want to go and look for that guy.
Come on, David, get in the game.
I just think that still think one of the best parts of tonight's episode was the fact that Seat 8 thinks the game is rigged.
I was amused at him yelling at the players, calling them suckers.
right.
Lose your money, suckers.
Mamacita, una mamacita aquí. Then
he's not a
otro
bounty hunter.
mamacita.
Oh, yeah. As long as he's not
You
about
guys understand it or not?
He is really?
5 years.
Well, Kenna has raised here.
Nine.
That's funny.
Jack 10 offsuit.
Jack 8, Jack 9, Jack 10.
Oh, man.
Boy, you guys
And
made
Seat
it.
9's going to raise it with Jack 8. Ephraim.
I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday.
You think it's your cards like that?
The problem here, though, is, again, this is a restricted game. I mean, Kenna has like 1,000 in front of him now, but do you want to call a $100 re-raise with Jack 10? Even, I mean, this game has just almost come to a point where it's like
Right.
just fooling around, but he doesn't have that much money in relation to this raise, but he's
Well,
going to
he
make
makes
the call.
I wanna get high.
And they're
By the way,
they're all the players with the jacks.
Jack 9, Jack 10, and Jack 8, 350 to the flop.
Oh, they called me twice.
Well, Ephraim's got an
Now they
open-ended
all need
straight
each
draw.
other's. Yeah, they need each other's cards to make the straight.
well, I don't know about the.
The 9 needs the 8, the 8 needs the 9.
You look really bad on
Just move all in.
That's what he said. I called him back.
Let me see your phone real quick.
Ephraim's got some money now too, like about 1,500 to 2,000.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of rude.
looks
for
he
a friend.
has some white
1900.
chips there.
And he's going to bet 150.
Here, free for everyone.
And that flop really was not a good flop for Kenna.
No. The funny part is he has the best hand.
Yeah, exactly. So $150 bet here into about a $325 pot. He's going to get rid of it. And Jesus calls.
Oh my gosh.
He calls with a gut shot.
Ace.
Here we go. Jesus has the best hand right now.
Ace.
Turn is an ace, and Jesus called the ace. He called the ace. And now Ephraim's scared of it. He checks, and Jesus checks right behind him. And the river is a 4, and Ephraim
gives
makes
Ephraim the
straight.
straight.
Yep. 8 high straight. And I think that Ephraim,
Here comes cocktails.
is he
Kenna.
first to act here?
Yes, cocktails.
We haven't seen him do anything yet.
Cocktails.
He's going to bet.
Oh, what?
He bets 500. Well, Jesus is looking at his cards.
Captain and Don Boat and whatever he wants. And a captain and
And he mucks.
Dije ace, a ver si me daban el ochito.
I think Kenna's ordering a captain and diet.
Solta nueve.
I don't do this for a living. I get nervous because I got to lose weight. Who else? Anybody else want a drink?
I'll have a St. Pauline.
What?
Oh, there's the lovely
And
Tiffany,
he's trading.
one of my favorite cocktail waitresses here at the Bicycle Casino.
She has a booty.
A booty? She does. See if we can get a shot of that Isaac going on. Ray, do you hear me out there? Zoom in on the booty. There it
That's a
is.
good thing. Yeah, I was not saying in that in a negative way at all.
Speak Spanish. Son, I am Muslim. I can't do it. You want to smoke pot?
I wish mine would.
No, I. We got
There's that thing with the tube in it, whatever it is with the tube of smoke. There's a tube
What
of
is
smoke.
Kenna doing?
I guarantee that's going to get edited out.
All I did with opium, no drink,
Now that's funny.
no alcohol.
I don't drink any more or any less. Trust me.
And a water, please.
Hey, did you get your shot there, Chelsea?
Yeah, I got a shot of Patron.
Come on, we can get some. This guy's buying. Get a shot. Now we're having fun.
He's telling all the white guys. He ain't say
Don't tell me she's coming here.
Mexicans
She
are
can't come
okay?
here.
Everybody's okay. Everybody.
There's just mass mayhem here on the table.
Yeah, Corona and a shot of Patron.
You guys just have my back. That's all.
I think they're at the
Okay,
table.
yeah, now they're all going to get drunk.
As long as I don't get cold.
Well,
They're going to
if
get
they're
drunk
gonna,
on top of being...
Donna, you know, if Ken is going to buy the table a shot, I think Kenna should buy Shirley and I a shot back here, too. Tell them that on the table, have her bring a couple back.
Well, I don't drink tequila, but I'll take a shot of something else.
And the pot was raised here about $20, I think. 733. And, wow, seat number 9, we don't have his cards up. He's got 5-3. And he's going to bet right out with the trips. He bets $80. And is John going to go anywhere? Look, no, John's in for the rest of his money. He's got top pair. How much more is it? 550. Are those white chips over there?
I know.
Did he just push $500 in? Oh my God! He moved $500 in with 7-9, and look at Ephraim's got trip 3s, and he quickly makes the call.
Of course he does.
Told you it was bottom pair, but he had a feeling.
And the river's a 4, and John's just gone through $1,000 in 2 seconds. Ephraim's going to turn over the trip 3s.
Oh, his.
Oh, wow.
That's it. I can't take this.
He bet right out, and the guy raised him with a 7.
It's the old Hoover.
That is.
There he goes.
But you know,
Another one bites the dust.
I mean, ethics in this game is.
And now we're really getting some big chips onto the table.
Ethics in this game is not very big.
What? What you said?
Ethics. Like,
Well, you know, I don't
If
know.
you know you have a winner,
I
pretty sure you have
posted
a
on my
winning
journal
game,
this
you
morning.
just
I said, I don't know what game's going to be on tonight, but I'm sure it's going to be better than tomorrow.
turn it.
You know the whale night?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
Oh, why? Because you didn't like how Wales night went last night?
What, last week?
Last week, yeah.
Overall, I just think that the well game plays slower than, you know, the typical 3 to 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Etiquette
So-
is like manners.
I was right in that prediction.
Right. Manners within, you know, the framework of
And again, Walter has not played a hand
Gosh.
over there in C3.
In 2.5
That
hours.
sounds like
Yeah.
Webster, by the way. That sounds like the Webster
I
definition.
used to work for Webster. Thanks.
Look at only one definition.
65.
Now, Jesus is raised here.
Make you holler.
Jack, deuce, of diamonds.
That's you?
Card and I raised this.
What the hell is going on here? Oh. Is this Cinco de Mayo or something? What's the pink today?
Jack, deuce, of diamonds. Jesus bringing it in for a raise.
Match it up.
Imagine that.
Gringo.
Wild?
60.
Oh, you should see me in bed.
What the heck?
Oh. What happened? Match that?
That's a
See, you know what? They don't
That's a
even,
totally different
Hey,
channel.
how about me? They don't even ask, like, do you want to call? They just say match it because they know I'm putting it in, right? They don't even ask. They just say, are you going to wait? You want a phone? They just say match it.
It takes 2, baby.
Ephraim calls here with deuce 10, and Ken is in with 4-7
What
offsuit.
happened? Whose turn is it?
Jesus brought it in for a
I'm
raise,
first?
free flop.
Chicken raise.
Did you say chicken? Chicken raise.
And Jesus is going to bet 100, and I don't think anyone can call here.
You got to lay down over there.
Wow, Kenna calls with 7-4. He's got a gut shot to the 5. Turns a deuce.
As he's singing us.
That's really
Kenna checks. Oh, and Jesus checks behind him. Is Kenna going to throw a bluff in here if he doesn't get there?
There's audio in this game.
He's going to have to, surely.
They can hear that.
Well, Jesus has a pair of deuces now.
Thick. This is put
Right.
on the heads.
Kenna's going to bet
60.
260.
Not much more. So don't
Post
worry.
Oak Bluff,
No way Jesus can make this call.
260.
That is a very good hand.
I think you could beat it if you have 2 of them.
And Jesus shows the Jack deuce. Says, can you beat this?
Are you kidding me? Yeah, you almost swapped your cards. He's going to call you.
Oh, Jesus mucks again, Eliza.
Then I actually had to be nervous. How do I answer this?
That's all right. I'm buying him a drink anyway.
Wow.
Thanks, Chris.
So a new viewer, Anthony DeSantis, is watching for the first time. He says, all I can say is wow.
Yep, that was an email. Thank you, Anthony.
Wait, straddle.
Straddle.
Okay, this one real quick.
Only look at one. Oh, no.
This is straddle.
You look at
Mucho queriendo hacer fotos.
I agree.
Shirley, unfortunately, we only have about 15 minutes left. in
I
the show.
know.
No. Who said that?
That Queen Jack beat against Brian, who hadn't slept in 4 days, Kings. That was a bad beat.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on me.
Yes.
I think you're already in, are you?
Here's a live
Yeah,
straddle.
but it's a straddle.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
All right.
I'm just trying to figure stuff out here.
Let's make it $50.
And Kenneth's going to raise, I think.
50.
Is he in the straddle spot?
Yeah, he's the one that straddled. He's making it 50.
That'll make it nice.
He has King 9 of hearts. Jesus
Put it up.
instantly calls with Deuce 5 offsuit.
All you guys got to do is lip
Seat 8 calls with Ace 7.
They're all calling.
Ephraim's in there with 10 deuce offset.
problem with that.
Seat 2's in there with Ace 7
I have
suited.
no problem with that.
And Rudy's got
of
6,
course
7
Rudy's
clubs
calling.
over there in seat 4.
That'll hurt something.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 50.
They're all in but Walter.
Now we're at the 10,000.
Right?
$300 pot.
Oh my God! I
Well,
almost lost
seat number 2's got the nut flush draw.
Oh, Kenna is, yeah.
Top 2 pair
two.
for Kenna. Top 2 for Kenna.
Time.
$300 pot. And he's going to check the top 2. Wow.
That's dangerous. I mean, you can get action on this table. You just
Yeah, and Ace 7 checks right behind him, and there's the diamond on the turn. Nut flush for Martin. Oh, now Kenna has to put money in there, right?
I'm going to bet.
Yeah, he's going to bet. It's a $300 pot.
I'm going to bet
Fair enough.
400.
He's going to bet 400. Oh, wow. And you got to wonder, I mean, he's put so much money in here. Can he get away from it? The pot is now 700. 400 to call. Let's see how Martin plays it. And he's going to move all in instantly.
So you're all in?
I'm all in.
He's all in.
That sucks. That plays so bad. How bad can a person play?
Just in case everybody at home can't see these.
You have to push in.
Fucking right here, baby.
You have to push in.
Just
You want me to push it?
a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Oh, wow.
Here's
Well, surely it's an $1,100 pot before the all-in. I think Kenna has about 600 left. So it's basically 1,700.
You can call off the rest.
600 for Kenna to call.
Yeah, but Kenna knows his beat, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenna's.
tell you what to do.
Actually, Kenna has a grand, so it's actually... Geez, it's more like a $2,200 pot, 1,000 to
I got
call.
the nuts, brother.
I know you get the nuts, but
Martin's telling me he's got the nuts.
1,000 a call. I thought he had a grand total.
That's the
I think
problem.
it's only 600 more.
that's
It's
where-
400
Oh,
out there.
okay. I got word
Yeah,
in
he
my...
has,
Yeah,
he has
you're
a
right.
grand total.
All right, give me 100 back off full. Oh, we can raise 4. What?
Negative.
And Kenna said, give me a 100 back, I'll fold.
Wow.
Good, good. Please call me. Come on.
And look at this. Martin's doing that reverse tell. Please call me, please call me. I have the nuts, I have the nuts.
Whatever you got. Call me. Come on, call me.
Yeah.
There you go. You can choke on
And
it.
Kenna makes the call. He makes the call, and oh wow! Oh, here we go.
king or
Let's see the
nine.
river. Oh, the river's a jack,
You get it.
and Martin's got the nut flush.
Wait,
I think Kenna just knew.
Yeah, make sure you don't forget the change in your pockets.
I wouldn't do that, Marty, because he's got a lot of changes in pockets, and you can wipe your stack.
Oh God! How did you guys get so lucky to have this game on the internet?
That's a hand, baby.
Kenna.
5,000 new customers.
Yeah, don't
Wanted to
play
get
with
in this
Daddy. Don't play
Oh,
with
this guy's
Daddy.
crazy.
I'm going to Sizzler.
All right, 500 more.
And Kenna's gonna go back in for 500 more. And Martin, I don't know who's the big winner. If it's Jesus or Martin tonight, it's crazy.
I even told you what I had.
I mean, Martin just won another grant, another $1,000.
I know.
You had it.
No,
No, but that's not the nuts, though.
And cancel the one for Friday. Yeah.
You
Seriously.
think I had a flush?
I'm gonna have
You
to
guys
take,
are smart.
I'm gonna have to have two.
You guys
I'm
are
gonna have
smart.
to take up 2 seats here for me and my chips.
God, I wanted to humble him so bad.
Yeah, Kenna really just want. He knew he was down. He wanted
I
to hit
think
the full
that's why he
house.
called.
Yeah.
No, 500 just to humble him.
And boy, we're gonna have to figure out how many chips out there seat 2 has.
It is
That's
now.
25? Yes. Oh, yeah, give me one card. It's going to be 500. I believe. Look at this one. That's no good. That one's good. I'm all.
All in, 500.
Kenna's gonna move all in here. We can't see what he has. He was in for 500. He rebought, and we cannot see what he has.
Hey, Don, you better have a spare rack standing by.
I had a face card.
500. I'm all in.
Put your cards out.
Cards
Well,
out.
Kenna is all in here. Again, we cannot see what he has.
And $2.
He's got pocket jacks.
Can't bet the $2.
He's gonna call.
Pocket jacks. Seat 9's got deuce 7 offsuit. No, he's not gonna play.
Does Kenna have jacks? It looked like Jack
Yeah.
Queen to me.
Jacks.
Now you got
Oh, it's seat 7 that has Jack Queen?
Yeah.
I probably would have lost that if I didn't raise. Oh, man.
I'm glad you won that hand, Kenna, because I was worried that, you know, if you got busted and the drink showed up.
Hey, Kenna, could you have me? That's what he said. I didn't want him to get busted out until the drinks show up.
So we got about 10 minutes left in the show. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Hey,
One,
I
two,
marked
three,
this
four,
as
five,
a
6, 7, 8, 9,
success,
10,
and I got
11,
in this game. I got this gentleman to open.
Well, it's about
Got a
$3,000.
lot.
$3,000 in
It
yellows
looks like
right there.
more than that to me.
Think so?
No,
Yeah.
I haven't, but I knew what I was talking
I think
about.
he's the
I
big
said,
winner
like,
tonight.
God, please shut up.
Because I think Jesus has kind of lost a little bit of his stack.
You double up on the first hand.
This guy
Yeah,
was
I think
almost
so.
down to felt.
Yeah, was that a good first hand?
Silent as a church mouse.
Yeah, silent.
Now it's right there.
Silent is search mouth.
Now he's
So the jaw goes with
Now
the
he's
chips.
Jerry Seinfeld
No,
again.
well,
The
no.
jaw muscles go.
Well, and, it
And we
means
got a raise here and a couple
Like,
callers.
Most people do the same. I'm the same.
Oh,
$30 raise and a couple of callers. Nader's got a flush draw.
Now that I'm down 1,000. And I'm glad this. You know why I'm so excited is it's not a bigger game.
Ephraim's going to bet here 80.
How bad is it?
And Nader's going to call with the flush draw. Pot's about 240.
I'd have played it perfect if I'd have filled up.
Turns a 7. Jesus is out of the hand.
Knock you pair.
Nader picks up a pair now. And Ephraim checks the turn. And the river's a heart.
this was by one
And
hand.
Nader checks the flush in seat 8. Is he checking to induce a bluff? No, and he's not going to get it. And there it is, the flush.
I'll make a bigger flush.
It's pretty easy to make a flush around here, huh? I thought it was difficult.
Nader takes it down.
Oh, I should have played that hand.
You know how much?
Yeah, we're gonna have some beers and watch this. I'm telling you, you're gonna laugh.
So again, if we can take a shot there, seat number 2 real quick. Let's see. See if we can zoom in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9,
Plus, he's announced he's
12,
wild in bed. so he
15,
might count
18, 21, 25, 26 plus what else? Wow,
You don't enjoy a good time?
pretty big.
Oh, I forgot.
And if those are like stack and a halves, it's even more than that. Button is in seat 5. Ephraim is going to raise here with Queen 10 offsuit to 50.
What happened? Yeah.
Seat 2.
Time.
Match it up.
It's making 100.
Raymond looks like he's going to call.
I'm
Actually, he's
calling
going to
principle
raise.
subscribe.
And again, we can't quite see what he has over there in seat 2.
There we go.
Pocket jacks.
Pocket jacks.
All right.
That's how he got started tonight.
Ephraim raised, Martin re-raised, and Kenna called. $100 was 7-8. And Jesus is in there with 4-5. $500 pot. King, Queen 3.
You should have ordered 2 drinks.
You know what I'm saying?
Rainbow.
I'm telling you right now, if you guys bust me before if I lose this 500, you're on your own.
And it went checked all the way around. The turn's a 5. Ephraim's hand is good right now. Nobody bet the flop. And now Ephraim's going to bet
Oh,
200.
thank God she showed up quick.
Shut up, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to set me back another $120.
He was worried about calling an overpair last time when he had aces, remember? Now he's got to call with jacks? I don't think so.
Remember, Ephraim raised the pot pre-flop. He checked the flop, but Martin did not bet with pocket jacks, and Martin had re-raised pre-flop. And now Ephraim has bet on the turn with the best hand.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
he's going to make the call.
He is.
And he's in trouble.
Yeah, she left a long time
All right,
ago.
how much are you, baby?
200.
The pot is now, and look at this, Jesus calls with 4-5. The pot's like $1,100 now, and the river's a king. An $1,100 pot. You can't really put anybody on a king now, can you? Nobody bet the flop. Check, check.
Nope.
Yep, and he's going to show down jacks, but they're no good. Ephraim's going to take it down with Queen 10. Wow.
I can't beat this game. I can't beat this game. This is sick. I got to be the worst player.
Jay, that's a bad call?
I can't beat this game. He's calling with second pair,
Dave.
third pair. You got second pair, and you've got fourth pair.
I agree.
Sick. Sick.
Jackson the hole. Can't lay that.
12 lines, sir?
37. I'm going to give you $50, but I'm not going to give you.
And this is going to be, unfortunately for everyone, the last hand in the night. Sorry about that, folks. But
We're even enjoying it in here.
yeah.
This is one of the few times I would say go back to the 4 hours. Let's do 4
20 is
hours.
the bet.
20 is the bet. Raise it.
Raise.
$20 rate bet here, and
we get
Kenna's going to re-raise.
75.
Kenna has an ace picture. I can't quite see if it's king or queen, but it's an ace picture.
It looks like either ace queen or ace king. Yeah,
I'm
he
sure,
re-raised
I'm
to
sure he'll move it
75.
around for us.
Thank you.
He's got an ace picture.
Salute. Hey, that's salute.
Well, seed 8's going to call with ace 8. Looks like it's ace queen there for
Ace,
Kenna.
ace queen of hearts, right?
Yeah. We have it as ace king, but
Or
it's actually
ace clubs,
ace
queen
queen.
of hearts.
Welcome,
There you go.
enjoy.
Now, seat number 9 is called. We can't see what he has because he's got his chips all over the place.
They get threatened all in one night.
Martin calls with pocket 3s.
75. I didn't take.
Rudy's in there with 6-9 of hearts.
We have him as
not every
John.
night.
Yeah, but
Oh,
it's actually
John
Rudy.
was in there real quick and out.
Lose
Yeah.
$1,000
So
to get
four-way
the
action.
But other than that, it's
We still need
Jack,
16
10,
9
4.
cards.
Check.
Salute.
So Rudy's got a flush draw in seat 4. Again, we have him as John.
Cheers. Cheers.
He has 10 deuce.
Live at the bike.
10 deuce.
Look, where's the
10 deuce is the best hand right now.
All right, this may be the stupidest
Sure
thing.
is.
Does this play this $50? I guess it does.
Everybody checked around.
It does play? Sure. All right, and I'm going.
Kenna's moving
And Kenna's
in.
going to move in. He's going to move in with the ace queen over cards and a gut shot.
It doesn't
Well,
play
that was your
because I
change
got
that
it.
you took out of your pocket.
It was a $300 pot. Actually, it's more than that.
I'm
There's-
curious to know
There's
if
5
Ephraim's
hands
going to
in
make
there.
this call.
Ephraim's got 10 deuce. We don't have it up
No,
there.
he's not going to make the call. He's grabbing us.
380.
He's grabbing on himself. He has to go to the bathroom.
The pot was 75 times 5.
He-
Oh, and he's going to push all in. He pushes all in. It was 350 pre-flop. Kenna
Oh, my
bets
God.
about the size of the pot. He bets 380. The pot now is about 750. Ephraim pushes all in. And now Rudy with that draw,
That flush
he
draw.
may call now with the draw. Let's see what Rudy... No, Rudy's out of there.
You got 2 pairs.
Now, that would be the right thing for Rudy to do with 200.
Oh, the turn's a king, and Kenna makes the
Kenna
nut
makes the
straight.
nut straight.
And the river's a jack, and Kenna's
You're
going to...
first. No, I'm first. I got it straight.
Wow.
He was right to look at. He was absolutely right. I sucked out.
380.
I was going to think that Rudy
See,
was
now
going to
Kenna
call.
doesn't give him a hard time or nothing. You know, I
Right.
mean, he encourages it. He's
made
like,
a
"You're
straight
right. You made the right read. I sucked out on you."
Well, that is going
That
to
was
do
too
it for
fun.
us tonight, folks. Everyone have a great time tonight. I think it was one of our best shows
And in
that
a couple
we've
nights,
ever
you can
done.
watch it on the archive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to think of a perfect Christmas present, Halloween gift, Thanksgiving
Halloween.
gift. How about giving the gift that keeps on giving, the archives? $14.95 a month just gets you all of the live action saved. Well, again, we've had such a good time tonight for everyone here in the booth, and for the Poker Babe, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
Good night.
Is here, is big, and it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament, it's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real, the stakes are high. They bet big, they win big, they lose big. High stakes live action poker, live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web, or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.